Good evening and welcome to Walter R. Johnson Sports Complex to kick off the home games for Wildcat Football 2022. This is Kevin O'Neill, and with me as always is Coach Bill. Wait a second, you're not Coach Bill Mix.
I don't think so. Last time I checked, I was.
Coach Chris Davis is joining us up here in the booth and is taking over color commentary duty. Welcome to the booth, Coach Davis.
Thanks, Coach O'Neill. Great to be here. Excited to kick off another night and another great season of Wildcat football.
Absolutely. So 2022 season. Cats started on the road last week against Lamont, and we're here this week against the Evanston Wildcats. We will be kicking off in just about 10 minutes here. Coin toss is still about to be coming. So, Coach Davis, why don't you tell us about the Wildcats from last year? How'd they do? The Wildcats, sorry.
Correct. So we
today.
got the Cats and the Kits tonight, so we just got to make sure up here in the booth that we keep everything straight. But last year the Cats finished with a 6-4 record in the fall, qualifying for the 7-8 playoffs. The Cats fell in the first round down in Pekin, Illinois, to the Pekin Dragons in the first round of the 7-8 playoffs. But the Cats finished in third place in the NSC last year, finishing third behind Warren and Lake Forest, and overall had a successful season. And there's graduated a lot of seniors from last year, but as you saw from the pregame festivities, there's a lot of seniors here on this team who had great experience last year as well and are ready to rock and roll for this upcoming season.
So as Coach David alluded to, there is a lot of changes, the first of which is obviously that Coach Davis is sitting next to me right here in the booth. Usually he would be calling plays for the Cats down
Liberty
on the sideline.
Has won the
so
toss.
The new
they have
offensive
deferred their
coordinator
choices
Coach
to the
Danny
second
Schechter.
half. They will
He
kick
brings
to the
in
north end zone.
A new different
Gentlemen,
set of
shake hands,
experience.
have fun.
He's keeping primarily the same type of system. A little change in some of the decision making, but for those of you veteran viewers of Wildcats football the last few years, and especially under Coach Davis's system, you'll see a lot of familiar looks and a lot of familiar formations. Other than that, the coaching staff is really consistent, with only really the addition of a very calm, demure Coach Vinny Giudita, who's just really, I mean, you'd hardly notice him if you weren't looking. And then offensively is where the big changes come for the Wildcats, not just with the offensive coordinator, have a complete overhaul of the backfield. A new quarterback and a new workhorse back. Dixon, obviously, at quarterback last year, and Tommy Lotka getting the load of the carries. And so we've got some new faces back there and some younger new faces back there. Last week for the Wildcats. Coach, did you catch any of the game?
I did. Was able to catch a little bit on the NFHS network last week. Saw a little bit of there in the first half and most of the second half for the Cats.
Gotcha. So last week, really the story of the game was Quinn Chambeau was the sophomore quarterback. He is splitting time with senior Rocco LaVista. And the offense, once they got going, Quinn really kind of got things moving. He completed 12 of 18 passes for 293. Not bad for a sophomore making his first start.
It's a lot of yards, Coach
It's a lot of yards. In the end, though, it just wasn't enough. The defense, from what I hear talking to the coaches, the defense made some mental mistakes and might have given Coach Budge a few more gray hairs to go with everything that he's got going. And the Cats fell 32-27 to a good Lamont team, that ran the ball really well.
You know, Coach O'Neill, Lamont is a strong 6A power. They waded to the quarterfinals last year and returned 9 of 11 on the offensive side of the ball. So it was a great test for the Cats to get prepared for what is always a very daunting North Suburban Conference schedule.
For sure.
So for the Wildcats last week from Evanston, the Wildcats are coached by head coach Mike Burzawa. This is Coach Burzawa's 13th season at Evanston Township High School. And of those 13 seasons, the Wildcats have qualified for the playoffs 9 times. Coach Burzawa's been a head coach. Before that, Coach Burzawa won 7 straight state championships at Driscoll Catholic High School. 3 as a head coach, and then 4 as the offensive coordinator before that school closed back in the mid to late early 2000s.
Early 2000s. That's a pretty good run right there.
It is. And then last week for the Wildcats, they had a 53-50 overtime win against Kenosha Indian Trail down at Murray Laisner Field in Evanston. Quarterback Dylan Groff rushed for 4 touchdowns and threw for 2 TDs in the victory. And the Wildcats, with about 10 seconds left, completed about a 40-yard pass to send the game into overtime, and then on 4th and 1 in the overtime, punched it in for the victory. So it was an exciting game down in Evanston last week, and you know the Wildcats will be flying high to come in here and play the Cats. That's going to trip me up all night, Coach
It's going to be tricky.
It's like the Kit Kat game, Kits and Cats.
Kits and Cats.
Kits and Cats.
So that is going to be tricky, for sure. Of course, the Evanston Wildcats taking their name as homage to the Northwestern Wildcats, kind of the younger sibling there. So last week, offensively, we just told you that the story was Quinn Shambo. We also had Christian Gavrick. Obviously, if a quarterback has that many yards, he's throwing the ball to somebody. It's falling into someone's hand. And senior Christian Gavrick ended up with 6 catches for 114 yards, which sounds really impressive. But then you look at Luka Nikolic, who had 6 catches for 166 yards, Coach.
I know I had a couple of streaming issues, Coach O'Neill, at the Davis House trying to get the NFHS network up and going last week, and it seemed like every time I turned on the TV, it was a completion of a deep bomb to Luka Nikolic. So he had a great game in his first varsity start in his junior year.
Yeah, and there's one guy, I'm going to bring this up. This is going to be a reoccurring theme. There's a guy who's played some quarterback back in his history, back in his football. You know, those guys, they don't always end up being quarterbacks on the varsity level, but they know how to play ball, and they know how to get around and know how to do what needs to be done on the football field.
You got it, Coach O'Neill. And then on the defensive side, like last week against Evanston, Austin Gomez led the Wildcats. He had 14 tackles and 3 assists, with a total 17 tackles, and his fellow safety mate Hayden Kuntz tallied 10 tackles with 2 assists for a total of 12 tackles to help pace the Wildcat defense. So I know from talking with Coach Budge, as we get going here, looking ahead to tonight's game, the point of emphasis for the defense will obviously be to control the run game and to be a little bit more physical at the point of attack and to limit the explosive plays from the Evanston offense. As we mentioned earlier, quarterback Dylan Groff had a heck of a game for the Evanston Wildcats to start off last week. And that's going to be a point of emphasis for the Wildcat defense, is to try to limit those explosive games, limit the Evanston Wildcats run game, and be physical at the point of attack as they execute their fundamentals.
Okay. And then offensively for the Cats, as we talked about, the Wildcats just doing what they're doing offensively through the air, a lot of it. The starters, like we said, Quinn Shambo. Charlie True is going to be at tailback, and he got a bunch of carries last year, and he's going to be carrying some more this year. At fullback, Jake Dinklenberg, who was a center his freshman year for the freshman team.
Did not know that, Coach O'Neill.
He was a small center, but, man, he had body position. He got low, and, I mean, I'm sure that's what he's using to leverage from the fullback position, too. The wide receiver, we have the 2 big guys that we talked about, Gavrick and Nikolic. And then Drake Johnson, big tall Nate Callis, and Casey Wells, also all expected to get action, and all really going to be needing to do a good job blocking from that wide receiver position too. A lot of the screens that are set up, a lot of the outside passes require the other receiver to throw a good block. Across the O-line, the big guys, depending on health, we might have had Patterson in the middle. Did you get an update on him?
I have not yet, Coach O'Neill. I think we're going to have to wait and see here as we get ready to go for the game time.
So Tyler Patterson might be in the middle, but if not, across the line, we've got Dylan Vania, Jack Richter, Ben Hutchins would be filling in at center, big Trenton Van Mowing, and then Andrew Johnson are the big eaters who are up front, who are going to be pushing for us. I can't see who's out there right now. It looks like Braxton Condon, but I don't know if that's who's going to be there to begin with. The keys to the game. So the coaches are kind enough to spend a little time, as Coach Davis already gave you the defensive keys to the game. The big ones: protect the football, no turnovers. Obviously, Coach, you know as an offensive guy, if you don't have the ball, it's a lot harder to score.
That's right, Coach O'Neill. And when it comes to protecting the football, that's really a whole team part. It's not just necessarily up to the skill guys, just like when it comes to a lot of things. It's the whole team working together to put the offense in an advantageous situation to keep everything ahead of the chains.
So how do you talk? What role do linemen play with that when you talk about protecting the football?
The first one comes, Coach O'Neill, with that quarterback-center exchange. It all doesn't start till right then and there. It's one of the things that we take for granted. It's one of the trends in football lately that kind of made its way from high school all the way up to the NFL about being into the shotgun. And it's something that it's something that you take for granted until all of a sudden you got balls going all over the place.
Right up until it's not working anymore.
That's exactly right. So that's where it really is a whole team thing when it comes to protecting the football, because the game is all about the ball.
So that's the first key to the game that Coach Jones and Coach Shack gave us. The second one is win the down, and I really like that phrase. I coached football a long time, and I never heard that, win the down. The efficiency keeps offense in the driver's seat and leads to big plays, and I like that idea. Is that something you guys have used for a while, or is that new?
Like, phrasing it that way is an awesome way of phrasing it. It's something definitely I think every offense talks about, of being efficient with your plays and really trying to stay ahead of the chains to put yourself in an advantageous situation. I know regardless of the offense, there's not a lot of calls on the call sheet for 3rd and long all the time. If you're in that situation pretty quick, you kind of burn through those pretty quickly. So being able to stay ahead of the change and keep the defense on their toes a little bit allows you really to kind of open up the whole playbook.
I do really like that, win the down, like that idea that, and then even if you have a bad play, then hey, it's second and 12, win this down.
Exactly.
Let's do that.
They got it.
And then the third one, I like this phrasing too. I don't know who was in charge of the wording this week, Coach, but
I think this was Coach Shack.
Coach Shack?
Yeah, full disclosure, I think it was Coach Shack.
I'm not going to lie, it comes with a little more flavor than what I've been used to getting for the keys.
There was a very basic keys to the games. You're right, for about over a decade there.
About a decade there. So it's hunt big plays. Explosive plays, increased chance to score on drives. And, especially as a longtime freshman coach, it's hard to get 3.5 every play and expect that you're going to get a sustained drive with that. You need to get them in chunks.
And that's such an important part of it, like you said, Coach O'Neill, about being able to generate explosive plays and create explosive plays. Like you said, at any level, consistently having that execution on offense is definitely a challenge. It's what everybody strives for. But when you're able to generate those explosive plays and get chunks, it really helps keep the flow of the game going in your favor.
And it keeps the defense on their heels the entire time, because then they have to be worried about the next one that's coming. And that starts to open up things for your True and your Dinklenberg inside.
You're right. And I think we got a guy that I saw sitting on the sidelines that used to create a lot of explosive plays down here at LHS back in his day in the middle to 2010. So
yeah, we'll see if we can get a word from a young Mr. Lees.
We might be able to. We'll see if we can have him come on here. But I think we're getting ready to get everything started here with the playing of our national anthem.
We'll turn it over to the best band in the land, the Libertyville Marching Band, and we'll see you guys on the other side of the anthem and fireworks.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present the 2022 Marching Wildcats under the direction of Senior Drum Major Jessica Brown. We welcome our visitors, the Evanston Wildcats. Now, please rise, remove your hats, and join in singing our national anthem. Conducted by LHS Marching Wildcats Director Matthew Hans Karnstedt. The flag flies at the north end of the stadium. here come your
And we're back as the Cats take the field after a rare rendition of the national anthem and the Wildcat fight song. The football team runs over to the student section in a tradition they started, I feel like 5-6 years ago, maybe.
I think so, yes, definitely.
Just kind of give a thank you to the students who come out. Pretty packed student section for this gorgeous night. Coach, we needed to hear a little about the defensive starters. Or did we ever find out if we were kicking or receiving?
I didn't see the coin toss, Coach O'Neill, but while you're looking to see if we can figure that out, I'll go through the defensive starters here. So the Wildcats line
Perfect.
up.
We are kicking off, so
there you
perfect
go.
to hear defense.
So the Wildcats are lining up again in a base 3-4 defense. And up front, the defensive line, the Wildcats are led by Coletta Matalenko at one defensive end position. Caleb Christensen holds it down on the inside at the nose, and Ethan Kendall is at the other defensive end position opposite of Cole. The inside linebackers are Joey Carlucci and Boyd Hunt. They're joined in the outside linebackers by Scott Creel and Charlie Clark. Austin Gomez kind of runs the secondary from his safety position. As you mentioned earlier, he's joined in the backfield by Hayden Kuntz at the other safety position. And then Chris Bennett and Luke Williamson will be on the outside at the corners. As we get ready to go here, the Wildcats are taking the field. Coach Schrader's got his kickoff coverage team out there ready to rock and roll to get us started here for another great season of Wildcats football here at the Walter R. Johnson Sports Complex. Coach O'Neill, don't know about you, but every time those fireworks goes off, get a little goosebump going right there.
It is. It's fun. And I just think back to when Coach Coos brought that, and
That's
just
right.
making Friday night a thing.
It is.
So Luke Compare will kick off. We've got, who do we got out there? Scotty Creel is on the end over here. Owen McDonald, Hayden Kuhn. So you've got some of your defensive starters on your kickoff team. Chris Bennett. And here is the kick. It's a line drive kick in the middle. Goes to not the deepest guys. That looks like number 10 for Evanston. He's going to take it to his right and run out of real estate. Run out of bounds at about the 28, I think.
It was a good start there for the Wildcats, Coach O'Neill. The kickoff coverage team did a nice job of not overrunning the coverage, understanding the goal of the kick, did a nice job of getting that return funneled to the sideline.
So when you kick like that, the plan is you're not burying them super deep, but you're setting up to make sure that they're not going anywhere out of control.
Correct.
Right?
Like the big thing is to try to neutralize the return a little bit, where you're going to give up a few yards, but you hope that you're not giving up that big explosive play to start the game.
So the Wild Kids will start under offense. If you're looking at home, they've got a big right guard who's listed at 6'7", 335, Gabriel Rosen. Their quarterback is Dylan Groff. He's in the shotgun. He's going to give around to his left, and he is buried up. That was given. I didn't see a number who got
Number
it.
22, Coach O'Neill.
Okay,
For the Wildcats on the tackle.
On the tackle, number 22, that's Joey Carlucci. Couldn't see who carried the ball, but there's a loss of 5 right there, Coach. That's a pretty good start.
You know, we were talking about it from an offensive standpoint about being efficient, staying on the chains. Now, the same thing kind of goes the opposite for the defense. Cats do a nice job there of getting that loss of yards on the first down, which kind of puts them in a little bit more predictable position on second down.
So they are spread out right now. Nobody in the backfield next to Groff. One in motion, number 6 in motion, going across. He's going to keep it up the middle. Hands on him right away. Caleb Christensen gets him. He's driven back. Number 55, Ethan Kendall. And he is nowhere to go right there, Coach.
That was a nice job by those big guys on the inside of really kind of shrinking the running lanes down on that inside little power play the Wildcats had going ahead and start getting set up.
So do you think that's a read, or is that just a straight keep right there?
It is. Most of the time that those are reads. Sometimes, depending on the scheme, that they will kind of be predetermined. With Groff's success last week on the ground and in the air, it probably wouldn't be a surprise if that was a design quarterback keep.
Or it's technically a read, but we know what his read is going to be.
Exactly.
So now we've got a sidecar next to Groff right there. That looks like it was number 20, Timberlake. He's throwing out of the break. The catch is made by number 10, John McMatee, but he's swallowed up. Gain of about 12, but that still leaves him 4 yards short because of the couple losses.
That was a nice job by the cornerback, Luke Williamson, right there, of really understanding where the sticks were and keeping the play in front of him while they were able to complete the pass of not getting up that yardage for the first down and getting the ball carrier right out of bounds.
Yeah, sticks and sideline, using both to his advantage, knowing where he was on the field.
Looks like Hayden Kuntz and Austin Gomez are both back deep here on the punt return for the Wildcats.
So that's always nice when you can have both your safeties back and you don't have to worry about moving too many people around. A nice kick. Fair catch by Hayden Kuntz. And the Cats will take the ball over, it looks like the 24-yard line.
Well, we've got a break here in the action, Coach O'Neill. The varsity boys soccer team is finishing up in the New Trier Northside College Showcase tomorrow at 11 a.m. down in Northfield. And then on Tuesday, right here in the Walter R. Johnson Sports Complex, is senior night for the varsity boys soccer team.
Nice.
So come on out at 4:45 against Huntley. It'll be senior night for varsity boys soccer.
Excellent. So we've got Quinn Chambeau. We're starting out with 4 receivers to his right, empty backfield. That's Gavrick all alone to his left. Quinn rolls out, puts up, seemed to be a little collision there. Probably not enough for a flag, I would think. Just incidental contact there. But they did have Gavrick dragging all the way across from the lone position over here on the left.
They did. There was good time up there in front for a 5-man protection from the Cats.
Yeah, Quinn didn't. He rolled out, but he was not running for his life at all. I didn't see if they brought anybody.
As they're getting lined up here, the Cats are going into the no huddle.
Right away into the no huddle. Motion going across.
Drake Johnson in motion. Handoff here to Charlie True. Charlie bounces it back to the outside. Met by a couple of Wildcat defenders.
Charlie is just a tough runner. He just runs hard, runs low. He's a wrestler, and it's very rare that the first guy who makes contact with him is going to bring him down.
That's very true, Coach. And I know there's a lot of times last year, there's plenty of clips on the tape of Charlie dragging a whole pile of people.
Yep.
I remember specifically from that Lake Zurich game of him and one of those drives at the end of the game, taking about 5 or 6 Lake Zurich Bears with him to get an extra about 5-10 yards.
All right, so no huddle again, empty backfield. Quinn takes the snap right in his hands. He's looking. He's got a receiver. He's going over the top. Oh, overthrown. That was Nate Callis. I don't know if that was overthrown or if the receiver kind of stopped his route a little bit premature.
You know, the defense there, Coach O'Neill, the defender from Evanston did a nice job of kind of squeezing that route a little bit and staying right in Nate's hip pocket to make it not just an easy pitch and catch.
Right. So now the Cats will punt from basically the same spot where the Kits punted from on the other side of the 50.
Back deep for the Wildcats is number 10 and number 28. I'm going to try to get that here on my roster.
It's number 18 doing the punting. That's Quinn. And he's going to get a nice roll there. It's picked up.
Great bounce.
Picked up and tackle.
Nice
what
tackle.
A great open field tackle. That's number 17. That's Luke Compare. But a great open field tackle. Kept the guy on his inside hip and was just able to break down and get him.
As you can see here, as we get back going to the replay, you'll see, like Coach O'Neill said, Luke doing a nice job of keeping that ball on that inside shoulder and really squeezing down here on that return.
So that's big. I mean, that's all of a sudden, instead of at about the 30, 25 or 30, where the Cats, based on their kick, are kind of okay giving, now the Kits are backed all the way at the 10-yard line.
You know, Coach O'Neill, that's one of the things I know Coach Jones and Coach Schrader, who do the kick coverage teams, do a really big job of emphasizing during the week, is being able to break down in space and make those open field tackles.
So empty backfield again for Groff. Quick pitch and catch out to a hitch to number 11, Preston Brown. Looks like it's going to be a pickup of 4. That's just to get out of the shadow of your end zone there, right?
Oh, yeah, and like we were talking about earlier, it puts them down to like about a 2nd 6, 2nd 7, a little bit different from that first drive where they were sitting there at 2nd and 12.
Right. So it looks like still the same defensive group out right now.
Evanston lines back up, back in that empty backfield set here. Here comes somebody back in motion. Kind of seems to be par for the course here to begin the game for the Wildcats. Cats do a nice job there setting the edge, Coach O'Neill, and really limiting that Evanston outside sweep play just to a yard to bring up about 3rd and 4 here.
Right, that perimeter, if you can get somebody sitting on that perimeter and not let him out, we'll see that motion. He's got a full head of steam going.
There's Ethan Kendall right there causing a little penetration from his defensive end spot, really helping try to bounce that thing out wide and give his time for the rest of the defense to get there to rally, help make the tackle.
Drum key in there to seal it up.
So it brings us back to about a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 here for the Wildcats.
Once again, empty, so we'll see if they motion anybody across. It looks like the guy at the top of our screen's thinking about it. He's not. Oh, going back to that hitch, that pitch and catch there. And he makes a little break, makes one guy miss. That's going to be enough for a first down plus a few.
That was a nice throw there by Goff, recognizing what the defense had, got the ball out quick. Wildcats were able to break down, make a tackle, but the Wildcats are still able to pick up the first down. Coach O'Neill, I don't know about you, but I keep in my head everything. Kids, cats. I'm going to get it down by one point where it comes a little bit natural. I don't have to think about it.
Just
the whole
go
time.
Evanston. Maybe
there you go. Maybe that will. That will. So it's 1st and 10 here for Evanston at the 28. Formation into the boundary here. Single receiver down here at the bottom of the screen.
Snap with the keep. Groff on the keep. Breaks one tackle, but then runs into the middle. Now that is... You've been around here long enough to know Coach Albin, who is now associate principal. His rule, run away from people. He made one guy miss, and then he cut right back into the middle. Run away from people.
You know, Coach O'Neill, the other part, too, with that, though, is when you see what you have as a ball carrier and you can get downhill and get positive yardage, that also says something there, too, as far as bounce it out and go for the home run, if you know that the home run's not there.
True.
It's kind of like, to use a baseball analogy for Coach Thompson, who's up here at the booth, it's when you take that single to the opposite field when you know the pitcher's giving you the pitch to do it.
Oh. Looks like motion is what they're looking at here. Yeah, it looks like the side judge here.
Dead ball foul. Illegal procedure. Offense, number 28. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
First penalty of the game.
It is. And you know what? We got a little break here, Coach O'Neill. We'd like to thank our officials for coming out for us tonight. You know, there is a big official shortage across the state of Illinois in all sports. You know, tonight we only played one game here at Libertyville. That's across the North Suburban Conference this year of 7 o'clock kickoffs with varsity games on Friday night. And a big reason behind that is because of the official shortage we have in our state and the official crews being spread so thin that they can't just cover all the games or do the multiple games in a Friday night. So we'd like to thank the crew that we've got here for us. And if anyone at home is interested in becoming an IHSA official, please contact the athletic department with athletic director, Mr. John Woods. We'd be happy to get you set up with the IHSA. We even got a couple free waivers out there to kind of waive some of the fees to help people get involved.
Outstanding. Get involved. So Groff is going to keep that to his right, pick up the penalty basically. But once again, set an edge pretty well there. That looks like it was Tyler DeFranco. No, sorry, that was number 4, Owen McDonald.
Owen McDonald, Hayden Kuntz came in to clean it up.
Looked too tall to be.
There you go. So here we go. We get to a 3rd and long here, 3rd and 7 here for the Wildcats.
So in the sidecar right now.
Number 83, Cole Bonder, checks in the game here at defensive end for the Wildcats.
Back snap. Oh, he's got a guy in the seam. He's going to hold, tuck it, and run.
Groff takes off here.
There's a flag on the play.
Looks like we probably have a hold back in the line of scrimmage.
The definite hold area. Nice, Chris Bennett, nice open field tackle downfield to save a touchdown, but I think it's coming back. And
that's the danger, Coach O'Neill, that Groff presents for the Wildcat defense is when things are covered downfield and all defenders' eyes are back on the receiver, he has that ability with his legs to take off and make something happen with his feet.
He didn't look lightning fast, but he accelerated really quick. I don't know about you. He did
No, it's not. You know, it's definitely not probably that breakaway speed that you see from some players, but he does a nice job of getting vertical and is very elusive for his size and his speed.
Right, and he is a big guy too. I mean, he's 6'1", almost 200 pounds. That's a load when it's coming down at you full speed.
Definitely.
So the Kits are going to be buried deep right now. They're all the way back to their 19-yard line, setting up a 3rd and 18. No, it's more than that. A 3rd and about. I guess it is about 18. I stand corrected. Sorry, Coach Fischel. Your scoreboard was correct. Snap is out. Looking deep. Oh, that's a miscue. Miscommunication. Interception. Still moving. On his feet.
There we go. Big play there for the Wildcats.
Big play. Who made that catch?
Is that number 33? Is that Chris Bennett?
Chris Bennett, absolutely, on the pick. That was just a miscommunication there.
There was good pressure up front from the Wildcats defense. The inside linebacker came through untouched on the blitz, helped force the throw. Bennett did a great job of capitalizing on it. Now it sets the Cats up first and 10 on the 20, primed to be able to punch this ball in and get the first score of the game up on the board.
It's huge. Huge, especially after a 3 and out, scuffled a little bit back in your own territory.
There's a nice look at Chris Bennett there on the sidelines, getting some congratulations from his teammates.
Yeah, we got the sideline cam going again. That's fantastic.
It is.
Dan Treptow of Wildcat Productions. So what do we got here? We got a little bit of different formation. We got a little stack over here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Looks like we might have a
Dead ball
delayed
foul,
game.
illegal procedure, 44 offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So I guess he did not check in or did not tell them he was a receiver?
I'm not sure. It might have been maybe a little bit of motion in there ahead of time. As we look there, up Coach O'Neill up front, I see number 64, Rhett Van Boning, in with the Mules on the inside, who is the younger brother of number 74, Trenton Van Boning.
Huh. Rhett is in already. Good for him.
Here we go. Now it's first 15 for the Wildcats.
Fake to
Shambo
true,
off
put
the
it up
fake.
in the air. Oh, what a catch! Luka Nikolic
There is
hauls
a
it in.
flag here on the play. We'll see what we've got, and if the touchdown will stand.
There was some good hand fighting right there by Luka and the Evanston defender. We'll see what they're going to. They're both talking. They're talking about it. And I think our man in the middle is going to say they were just pushing and shoving. No harm, no foul. I have a feeling the touchdown's going to stand here.
Defensive holding, number 4.
There we go.
That penalty
There we
is
go.
declined. First down.
Touchdown, Cats. Oh, no, are they saying first down? Did he get pushed out of bounds?
They're calling it first down, Coach O'Neill on the one.
Oh.
Great concentration there by Nikolic on the catch.
So first and goal. True gets the ball. He bounces
Charlie
it to the
bounces out and
outside.
he's in.
Oop. He's still not coming down, but he's going to be brought down. Looks like maybe a loss of 1. I feel like if he kept going, he might have been able to get there.
It was good pursuit from the Evanston defense there to really rally to the ball. It looked like Charlie had the angle to bring it on in, but the Evanston defense, give them hats off. Nice credit. As you can see here on the replay, you see all those white shirts coming into the fighting, rallying into the football.
Yeah, that's Amari Waldron. He's a returning starter for them, and it showed there. His experience stowed. He stayed at home, knew where he was supposed to go. So second and goal now from about the 2.
Wildcats in the tight formation here. Hand back off to True.
Right up the middle, get behind your big hosses.
And there it is.
Go.
There's the touchdown.
Nicely done. Get behind the big eaters right there. Dylan Vena leading the way. Outstanding. Dylan Vena. Who else is in there? 64. Oh, is that
Rhett Van Boning. And now, Coach O'Neill, when the Wildcats score, you know what time it is.
It's time for muddle huddle,
It is. It's time for the Cats muddle and crew. So the Cats line up here in the muddle huddle formation.
Now familiar muddle huddle formation.
And this is true.
But everyone's got to prepare for it. Mason Marabella goes across in motion. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's true. Going across in motion. In trouble. Hauls it up. Nothing there.
So with about 4 minutes left here in the first quarter, the score is the Wildcats 6, the Wildkits nothing. And Coach O'Neill, as you sit there, as we were talking about that Cats muddle huddle, across the NSC this past week to start the year, there was a couple other teams from the North Suburban Conference in their non-conference matchups that lined up in the same formation.
Why do you suppose that is, Coach?
You know, Coach, I know that's one of the things that we've talked about many times before when it comes to the muddle huddle, that it really boils down to where it's that race to 16. I think that Evanston game last year for the Wildcats was a great example of that muddle huddle, where even here now with the Cats missing on that conversion, they get the next one, it's just like they kicked both field goals ready to go.
Right.
When you get 2 in a row, that race to 16, you can get it a 2-score game with only scoring, with a 2-score game with only scoring those 2 scores off it. Like in the Evanston game last year, Wildcats score, go for 2, get the 2, up 8-0. And then the Wildkits score, kick the field goal, 8-7. Wildcats score again right before the half, get the 2, and it's 16-7 going to half, which makes it that 2-score game.
Makes it a 2-score game. Our stat man, the illustrious and legendary Connie Kowal, here representing with his Western leatherneck shirt also, gives us the stats on that drive. 3 plays, 20 yards, 55 seconds, and all of 6 points. Thank you. The kick is off. Put it up in the air this time, but into a corner. It's caught at about the 20, brought out to the 25. He's corralled up and then met by a host of cats. Looked like Casey Wells was one of the cats out there.
Number 1, Devon Wallace, also down there as well, too.
Nicely done. Good coverage by the cats. So, I mean, he caught the ball at the 20 and only got it out to the 25. That's about as good. I lied. He caught it at the 15. But still, only 10 yards net total return.
And Coach O'Neill, it looks like there might be a change of possession here on the play, and the Wildcats have the football.
What just happened there? So the Wildcats have the ball.
Wildcat offense back out onto the field. Drake Johnson, Christian Gavrick split out wide here to the boundary. Nate Callis and Luka Nikolic in the stack position up to the top of the screen. True in the sidecar next to Shambo.
So Shambo's looking over the field. Safety's moving on him real quick. Oh, and there's that nice screen, nice block out there. Nate Callis with a huge block from the wide receiver position. That was Luka Nikolic on the catch, but he gets all of that because of Callis's block.
Great pickup there on first down for the Cats. That nice, easy, quick completion out to the boundary is able to keep the sticks moving for the Cats and keep them on schedule.
Good plays become great plays when wide receivers block.
You know, Coach O'Neill, I think that's I've heard that said a couple times before. Maybe even as a freshman here at Libertyville High School, way back in the day.
That's a tried and truism. So that's given to True right up the middle for really no gain right there. That would be Jack Noonan coming on the field right now, and Dinklenberg coming back in.
We'll see if we're going to get some of the numbers here for the Mules up front. Like you said, Dylan Vena, Trenton Boning at both tackle spots. We'll see if we can get the guard numbers here in a second. Inside handoff to the True. Charlie squeaks through. Gets about 3 yards here on second down to make it 3rd and 7.
So what do you do with your play calling here? It's your second series in a row where you're starting out inside the red zone, essentially. What does that do to your decision making?
You know, at this point, really the decision comes down to is what are you going to do on 4th down? I would venture to guess the Cats are in a nice position here to be able to go for it.
Isolated Gavrick!
And there's Christian Gavrick on the inside fade for a touchdown.
Shambo to Gavrick. I have a feeling we're going to be calling that combination quite a bit.
It is. Now the ball is rolling here for the Cats, Coach O'Neill.
Evanston had 2 guys on him. They knew they needed to cover Gavrick, and he's still able to split them, and Shambo is able to put that ball in a spot where only Gavrick could get it.
Nice protection there from the offensive line. Charlie True did a great job of helping pick up the defender that was coming through to the line to give Quinn plenty of time to get that ball out to KG.
So lining up in muddle again. And that is True, who's in the back position behind the line. Christian Gavrick
taking it to the wall, and he's in.
Right in. Just like that.
Just like we kicked twice, Coach O'Neill.
Just like we kicked twice. If you're at 50%, you're not losing anything.
That's right.
Coach?
That's right.
I still wish we could see what happened on that kickoff. I don't see where the ball went.
And you know, as the Wildcat players were running off the field, there was a little extra excitement, a little extra juice out there. The ball must have popped free at the bottom of the scrum. Wildcats do a great job of taking advantage with that strike from Shambo to Gavrick. And here was about 2 minutes left in the first. It is 14-0 Wildcats.
And right there, we've got a 4-play drive that covered 27 yards in 1:22. I bet you didn't think you were going to be up on duty that quick again, huh, Mr. Kowal? Thank you. Go Cats.
Well, we got a break here in the action, Coach O'Neill. A little bit more of the LHS Fall Sports girls volleyball team opens up their NSC schedule next Wednesday at home against the Blue Devils from Warren. The varsity gets underway at 6 p.m. in the West Gym, so come on out, watch Coach Loika and the varsity girls volleyball team kick off that NSC schedule against a tough Warren Blue Devil team. I know they appreciate when they get those packed gyms up there in the West Gym.
Great crowds, some great crowds lately. So lining up for the kick, Compare once again. He did some kicking for us his freshman year too.
Here he is, another squib going back to the other side.
Hotline drive. That one's, and that's why you kick it to those guys. They don't always have the best of hands. Pounds it forward. It's going to be just shy of the 30.
This is a big possession here for the Evanston Wildcats. Last time the offense was out on the field, it was a 0-0 game. Now they are down 2 scores. It's important for Evanston to be able to get some momentum established here. Important then for the Cats D to be able to remain being stout and to put the Wildcats back behind the chains.
Like to say hi to my little girls who are watching the game at home right now on the Wildcat Productions YouTube channel. Hello, Maggie, Claire, Annie, and Shannon. And, of course, my lovely wife who tolerates me doing this, Amy. Thank you very much, and glad you guys are joining us. So Groff is back and takes the snap. The give is right up the middle. He wanted to go around to the right, but that was sealed up right away and nowhere to go.
Met by a host of Wildcats right there, Coach O'Neill. I see number 55, Ethan Kendall. Number 1, Devon Wallace. Number 83, Cole Bonder getting off the pile. Nice job by the Libertyville defense of really setting that edge and making it where there's nowhere to go for the Wildcat tailback.
You know, it's funny because one name we hasn't called is Caleb Christensen, but I feel like the push he is giving on every play.
Definitely, Coach O'Neill. Caleb holds it down there on the inside at that nose guard position, really kind of helps set the tone.
It takes
for
two
that
guys
defense.
to move him.
You got it.
All right, so Groff once again, it's going to take the snap. He reads it, pulls it back for a pass. He's looking. He's got a post open. It looks like he overthrew it, though. He was only looking one guy ever. I don't know that there was anybody else who was even running any more than a 5-yard route.
Yeah, hit two guys back into the route. Definitely was a deep ball right off the bat here. Puts the Wildcats back at 3rd and long. Austin Gomez on the coverage back deep for the Cats.
Hey.
Austin did a great job back there. Austin Gomez, too, all-state wrestler. Third place in state
Third place
wrestler.
in state. And also, both of your safeties, Austin Gomez, Hayden Kuntz, both also played some quarterback on the freshman level and beyond. Like,
That's right.
They know what they're looking for.
You
They
got
know
it,
what to
Coach
see.
O'Neill. So here we go. It's 3rd and long here for the Wildcats. Pressure coming from the Cats. Kits pick it up.
Dump it out. Oh,
A nice job by
read.
Ethan Kendall.
He read that. He absolutely saw that. That's one of those plays, Coach, where I always give a shout out to Coach Budge because he sees that on films, he knows what they're doing, and then he prepares the guys to be there at the right time.
You've got it. Coach Budge, defensive coordinator for Wildcats, joined on the defensive staff by Coach Schrader, Coach Saunders, and Coach Magnuson. You said do a great job of really where they get all those offensive tendencies squared away and relayed to the players. So back deep again for the Wildcats is number 15, Hayden Coos, number 6, Austin Gomez.
Ooh, low snap, bobbled.
Low snap, bobble, punt still gets away.
Get away, get away, get away, get away.
Little poison call here for the Cats.
It's going to be a little conversation on the sideline about getting away from the ball, about fire.
For sure.
Couple guys. Or actually, it looked like maybe one of the guys didn't even make it get to the sideline, because sometimes that's even better when you've got a player who's helping his teammate out. Okay, we've got LHS trivia from Connie Cowell. Do you know John Fischel is a 1974 Evanston High School graduate?
You know, that Coach O'Neill, I did know that Coach Fischel was one, but I never probably drew the connection right now because I'm so worried about making sure I just kind of stick to my notes here.
And I wouldn't have guessed 1974. No way.
We'll give Coach Fischel 1994, something along there.
So we've got Quinn Chambeau. He's going to line up in an empty backfield. True is out to his right. He's got 3 receivers to his left. True in motion. Oh, there was a jailbreak right there. But Quinn scrambles.
Nice job
by Quinn. He gets past
Quinn
the first
right now.
level and picks up 12 yards. Man, he had a burst there, Coach.
You know, it was a good call by the Evanston defense. Quinn did a nice job, though, of being calm under the pressure and under the blitz. Did a nice job evading it, keep his eyes downfield, take it off, and making something happen with his legs.
And I feel like this is the first time they brought. No, I guess they just bring one guy, and then the other guy just got off the edge. But Quinn made a decision to tuck that ball and go. Good choice.
Wildcats get lined up here on first down. Christian Gavrick split out to the top of the screen. Down here at the bottom in the stack is Nate Callis, Luka Nikolic. Snap Chambeau, hand off to True. True up the inside for a good 4-yard gain.
See our offensive lineman, that Jake Richter, giving a big push right there. Trenton Van Moning giving a push, making things go. Number 58, Dylan Vena. I mean, that's where it starts. We can talk all about how True is a hard guy to bring down, but somebody's got to be pushing the big ends on the other side.
Number 72, Ben Hutchins, also in there at guard for the Wildcats.
Big Ben. Didn't play his freshman or sophomore year, I don't think,
Did not.
right?
Came out last year as a junior and finds himself here in the mix on Friday night.
Quinn takes the snap. True next to him. The give to True. Oh, he's pulled from the face mask. Then is still going to manage to get up.
And the officials concur.
Yeah, well, sometimes I just like to help them out a little bit. I could, you know, there's a shortage. They have a tough job going, so I like to try to help them a little bit.
There you go. Well, we have another little break here as we get that face mask penalty.
Personal foul, face mask, 41 on the defense,
Do you remember
15-yard penalty. That will result in a first down.
I don't remember what the rule change is. There no longer the 5 and the 15? Is any face mask an automatic 15?
No, it's still the 5 and the 15.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
And while they're walking off that penalty right here, as we continue on, kind of trying to highlight some of the other fall sports here at LHS, the girls swim and dive team, they also start their NSC schedule on Wednesday, except they are going out east, to Lake Forest. It's at 5 p.m. to be in the pool at Lake Forest, right there on the main campus, as they get their season continued here, as they just kicked it off this past week with the first meet against Vernon Hills, the Battle of D128.
Do we call it out east if it's only 2 miles away?
And, I'm just proud of myself for knowing the direction, most of the time.
So the first quarter comes to an end, and the Cats are up 14-0. A couple turnovers, obviously, very big for the Wildcats. But also just some offensive efficiency going on right now, wouldn't you say?
I would, Coach. As we talked about those keys to the game at the beginning, and while sometimes they might seem like they're just, of some pretty basic things, it's those simple fundamental stuff that really has a big impact over the course of the game. The Cats have done a great job of taking care of short field position and being able to generate some turnovers. That's really what got the ball started here. The Cats did a great job of capitalizing on it on both the Evanston turnovers, and they find themselves in the driver's seat here, 14-0. We got a great shot here of the Libertyville student section, all decked out in orange for the Orange Out tonight.
Orange Out.
We got the orange jerseys back too, which I might say are quite sharp. I do like those orange threads.
Oh, and you know what? When you're up here, you like them even more because you can actually see the numbers.
I remember a few years ago, I think we had some black on black numbers and some white on white numbers.
White on white.
I know people scouting us didn't have a great time with it. I'm sure calling the games was a little bit of a challenge too.
We just kind of started making stuff up, so you never knew who was going to get the call on that one. So once again, the Cats are at a 1st and 10 at about the 28. 1st and 10 at the 28. Shambo immediately looks out to his right to True.
Great block out on the edge by the receivers.
Once again, was that Callis again?
And Nikolic there on the outside.
So again, nice wide receiver blocking. And that was right from the get-go. That wasn't a read. That was True immediately, right?
Correct. So as they sent Charlie out wide, really able to out-leverage the defense there, get the ball out of his hands quick. Nice, easy pitch and catch. And able to get Charlie in position out in field with 2 guys in front of him. Great blocking out there by the skill guys to be able to set Charlie up for that 10-yard gain.
Got Gavrick isolated all alone way out here just outside of the hash. Shambo takes a look, gives to True. True hesitates a little bit, finds his hole, comes up, still churns out a good 4 yards, it looks like, from where our referee is standing.
Second down here for the Wildcats. And the Cats, again, in the driver's seat, really able to really get this one home and really take control of this game.
I mean, a touchdown here puts the Kits in a pretty precarious pitch situation.
Correct. And, the same thing, too, though. The Wildcats, real high-scoring game last week. They
Play
have the offensive firepower.
Helmet came off during the play. He must be removed for one play.
So we had a helmet removal, which means a player has to come out for a play. That's what the official was sharing here with the crowd.
So packed in tight, except for Gavrick isolated out. The give is again to True. Little counter play to the left, and he is going to get up inside the 5. I think enough for a first down, Coach.
Looks like it, Coach. Looks like it. Enough for the first down. And looks like, he's going to be a little bit short.
Man, he was showing 3, but his feet were showing me.
That's 2 tonight, Coach. And I've been a little misled on here.
Yeah. It would be the same guy, too, wouldn't it?
Cats up here quick to the line. Got a little early movement there. I think that'll go against the Wildcats.
Or is that a timeout by Evanston? Their coach came on the field. Oh, no, you're right. It was.
Men on the field, illegal participation. Evanston, 5-yard penalty.
There we go. First down,
first down.
Cats. Even better.
That's cheating. You're not allowed to do that, right?
Last time I checked, you can't have 12 guys on the field.
Okay.
That penalty is half the distance.
So did the kid who was supposed to come out just not come out, do you think?
I think that was the guy running off the field back there at the end.
Gotcha. All right, so now the Cats on the 1-yard line. Oh, I guess we were inside the 5, so it's half the distance. So we're on the 3-yard line. Once again, everything packed in except Quinn. We've given to True twice in this situation. See if we look at a little slant. Oof.
Shambo on the keeper. 2-yard loss there as he tries to get the edge. Nice tackle by the Evanston defender, staying home there on a little play-action fake.
That's Johannes Jean Francis. It looked like they were just assuming everyone was going to follow true because they've done that 2 or 3 times already. Quinn kept it and went back the other way, but Evanston stayed at home on that. So at some point when we have a longer break in the action, I'd like to talk to you about the hand signals and the advantage of signaling in from the sideline in that way. Don't have to do it now. I want to call. I'd just like to bend your ear a little bit about that, get some expertise. So Quinn fakes it, puts it up in the air. Gaffrick!
Nice throw to KG.
Once again. And again, you know what I love about both of those receivers, and I'm sure we'll see it from the other guys too, is it's some physicality. They're not getting pushed off their route. They're hand fighting with the defenders, and they're staying on their path and pulling the ball down.
You got it, Coach O'Neill. It's great chemistry right there on that to be able to hit that pitch and catch. Looks really easy up here, a little bit harder to execute out on the field. Cats lining back up in the muddle, now shifting back
over.
in. So Quinn Shambo on the hole, Christian Gavrick now on the kick. Snaps up, holds down, and the kick is good.
Kick is good.
So that makes it 21-0 here for the Wildcats to start the second half. And it has been all Wildcats tonight, Coach O'Neill.
For sure, between the turnovers, between the defensive stops, offense just kind of rolling and everything going the way they want it to. Even plays that get stopped for 1 or 2 yards are setting up something that they want to do the other way.
It is. Great complementary football from the Cats tonight. All 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams, have done a great job of contributing here into this game. Now we just got to keep that train rolling and keep the pedal down.
Right. We're halfway to 40.
That's right. So as we get ready to kick off, we'll continue down, going and looking at our fall LHS sports. Tomorrow morning, the girls cross country team heads up to UW Parkside to race in the Racing Horlick Rebel Invite.
Easy for you to say.
That was a mouthful there. And then both the boys and the girls cross country teams, they also kick off that North Suburban Conference schedule next Tuesday out at Diamond Lake Sports Complex, where they take on the Mundelein Mustangs and the Warren Blue Devils. So good luck to our cross country teams this upcoming week. A lot of teams, Coach O'Neill, starting those NSC schedules this upcoming
getting
week.
going. Week 3 for a school. Little pop kick once again to the corner. That one looks like it's going to go out of bounds, which isn't the plan. So that's going to come up a little bit.
Ball come back up to the 35. Cats defense takes the field.
You know what? We've talked a little bit about the Cats taking advantage of short fields and taking
illegal
advantage
procedure,
of those quick
kick out
drives.
of bounds.
That last
The
drive
offense
was
will take it at the
35
35-yard
yards
line.
and 8 plays. Like, that is not a short drive, but incredibly efficient use of offense.
You got it, Coach O'Neill. Like we keep referencing those keys of the game, the Wildcats have really been firing on all cylinders when it comes to executing those keys and those fundamentals.
And give Coach Shack a lot of credit here, too. New offensive coordinator, you know better than most what it's like to come into a new group, have to evaluate talent, sophomore quarterback taking over the reins. I guess it makes it a little easier when he's a really talented sophomore quarterback and you got Gavrick to throw to.
Yep, and like any season too, you see a lot of growth from teams between week 1 and week 2, because now it's for real. You're going against somebody who doesn't know what's coming in practice each day, and you really get a chance to evaluate, and the Cats have done just that. You can definitely tell they've learned some of the lessons that the coaching staff have wanted them to learn coming out of the Lamont game.
Yeah. So Evanston comes out with a quick out pass for a 10-yard completion and a first down. That's their biggest play so far from scrimmage, I want to say.
It is. They had that long scramble by Goff that got called back by the holding penalty, which really was one of those turning points there in the game. That was a nice 40-yard run that got negated. Cats took advantage to force the kick. So that's the first down here we've had for a while from the Wildcat offense.
So empty backfield, which they kind of have to at this point. You got to get going. Clock is against you. They keep the ball in the hands of Groff. And he's going to chug ahead. Looks like he's going to be just short. 2nd and 1 maybe, gain of 9.
Cole Bonder coming in here for Cole Matalenko on the defensive line.
What number is Bonder, Coach? 83.
83.
Your traditional defensive line number, right?
That's right.
So empty again. We've had motion come across each time he's been in empty here. Coming again.
Here's the snap.
Keep it
off on the keeper. First down for the Wildcats. That'll keep the chains moving.
I feel like that's the first time they've run purposely behind that big 330-pound guy. And so I guess for a man that size, I haven't seen them target his side quite as much as I would expect.
Right, Coach O'Neill, and like that's one of the things too here is you see the Wildcats go into the huddle for the first time tonight as they try to chew here a little bit of clock, keep this momentum going back on their side. Gives the Cats defense chance here for a quick breather.
Back in the pocket, stands up tall. He's going to go ahead and scramble out to his right. Picks up one block and a nice open field tackle. Picked up about 5 right there on a good scramble.
Good job by the Cats too there on that scramble drill of recognizing the quarterback when he takes off and runs, being able to rally back down to the football.
Cole Matalenko back on the field, and with him Boyd Hunt. Boyd Hunt has been at the same position. He's a man who's a middle linebacker forever. That's his spot, and that's where he played that freshman year for us. And it's good to see him having some success up here now.
Evanston coming back out in that empty formation. I think we're going to be saying that a lot tonight, Coach O'Neill.
Yeah, I mean, well, and down 21, you have to get something, hope to catch somebody off guard. Nobody goes in motion, stands right up. That was dangerous spot. I feel like if they throw that a second time, that McDonald or Williamson is going to be coming under that. That ball didn't have a lot of zip on it.
You know, like you said, though, Coach O'Neill, it's a nice job, though, by the Evanston offense of not panicking, of just continuing to execute their stuff here.
Good point.
And they're able to get a little momentum coming back up here against the Cats defense.
Absolutely. And they're playing.
Nice tackle.
They're playing the game they want to play. Like you said, they're not doing anything outside of their offense. They're moving things slowly, methodically, and not trying to do too much.
Nice tackle there on the bubble screen by number 3, Luke Williamson, the corner down here at the bottom of the screen into the boundary. Good rally into the football. It looked like number 4, Owen McDonald, joined by a host of Wildcats there.
Ooh, quick snap. There's that, is that behind the screen?
Ooh.
Sometimes I think the refs just call that incomplete because they know it's less controversial than if they don't.
That's true. That's right. That's very true.
I really believe, and I don't blame them. Like, then you have to figure out, was it actually behind? Was it parallel?
It's kind of like linemen downfield, Coach O'Neill. You gotta make them throw the flag on that one.
For sure, 100%. Of course, I also say the same thing about pass interference with defensive backs.
This is true.
Make them throw it.
This is true. So here we go. This is 3rd and long. You got to imagine this is 4-down territory for the Wildcats. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a run. Goff found that run here up the middle. Cats is showing the blitz.
Oh, no, they're looking for that slant. And he gets swallowed up. What a nice play. Great contain right there by Boyd Hunt.
And number 75, Caleb Christensen, helping to clean it up.
Man, Caleb scraping over the top, getting all the way to the end position out there. Or is it possible he stunted out that way?
I think he saw the scramble. The quarterback pulled the ball down, did a nice job of reacting off that block.
Now this becomes a 4th and 8. I mean, like you said, I think a run there, make a really manageable 4th down or take a shot at the end zone. Now you've got 4th and 8, 4th and 8.
Evanston's built up some momentum here on the drive. This is going to be a big down here for the Wildcat defense to be able to keep the Kits here in this 4th and long, get the ball back to the offense.
Man in the backfield here pretty much for a blocker. Pressure's coming from the outside. Groff is going. Oh, and
nice
a nice tackle. That was Tyler
Number 4, Owen McDonald.
Number 4, Owen McDonald. Sure tackler.
And that'll be a turnover on downs here at 25. The Wildcats will take over the ball. Great job, great answer there by the Wildcat defense as they start getting down into the red zone of really buckling down there and getting off the field, forcing that turnover on downs, getting the Wildcat offense back on the field.
I mean, like you said, that's complementary football. That's team football. The defense is doing the job, gets the ball back for the offense.
And Coach, most of the time you know that you're going to be giving up yards defensively. The big key is the points. Cats did a great job there of buckling down as they started to approach that own end zone and really hunkering down to be able to get that turnover on downs. Number 1, Rocco LaVista, or number 2, Rocco LaVista in at quarterback. Rocco takes off here on the keeper. Nice run there on the quarterback run for a 12-yard gain for Rocco, and that's 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
So LaVista's a senior. He's seen some time at quarterback in the lower levels, quarterback up here, played some safety last year. The idea was to get him some series. He and Quinn did share series last week against Lamont. Quinn had a little bit more success, but Rocco knows the offense well, so they want to see what he can contribute here. Snap is back, fake his edge, puts it in the belly of True.
No.
Don't know if that was designed or read, but that was sniffed out right away from the Wildcats.
Number 11, Casey Wells, receiver down here at the bottom of the screen. Up at the top, you've got number 9, Tyler DeFranco, and number 10, Nate Callis. So here we go, 2nd and 8 now for the Wildcats.
And a reminder, 2nd and 8 after Lavista picked up the first down on his first carry, picked up 11 yards. Oh, drop it back, puts it out, always had a nice arm. That looks like it's going to be a gain of about 7. Or I'm sorry, a gain of about 5.
So it looks like we got about a 3rd and 4 here for the Wildcats. Really got everything at your disposal right here.
3rd and 4 from midfield, really kind of anything you want. 5.5 left, up 21.
You've got it, Coach O'Neill.
The world is your oyster, offensive coordinator.
It is.
What do you want? What do you want? This is defensive coordinator's nightmare right here, because you only got 11 guys to cover 53.5 yards.
You are sure right about that, Coach O'Neill.
So Rocco's looking over. He's got True standing next to him in the sidecar. 2 receivers to his right. The snap is dropped. Rocco picks it up, but is snuffed out. Looks like he might have been looking downfield before he secured that football.
That looks like number 33 for Evanston there on the tackle for the loss.
So the Cats will come in to punt. Quinn punted there last time, I believe, didn't he?
He did, and it looks like Rocco's staying out here on the punter on this one.
So they just say, who's ever quarterback, you're punting.
Yep.
Well, both tremendous athletes, obviously.
You're right, Coach O'Neill, definitely.
And they do the Cats do that little rollout punt, little rugby-style kick to get a good roll and just kind of keep the defense moving. Oh, nice
Nice
play by
job
Rocco.
handling the snap. Yep. Great punt here. That's going to get a great bounce. Good coverage here from the Cats. Great kick by Rocco to pin the Evanston offense back inside the 15.
Nice job. Hey, we got an announcement from Student Council here. A couple of them, actually. Student Council, all seniors. Any of you seniors who are watching from home who aren't here in the booth, make sure you cast your vote for homecoming by Tuesday at 11:59. You will be still not in school. Your Labor Day, your fall break will be continuing, and make sure that you cast that vote.
That's right. I saw that email come in, Coach O'Neill, with the voting coming in through the email box this afternoon as we're getting ready out here for the game.
Yep, pretty exciting stuff. Homecoming preparations already underway.
Hard to believe, isn't it, that we're already talking about homecoming, but it's going to be here before we know it. It'll also be the 2nd year for the LHS Athletics Hall of Fame inductions will be that weekend. Then that class will be recognized at the homecoming game.
The Groff on the give to number 20. That is Demarion Timberlake. And he's going to bounce outside for a gain of about 8. That's he got a little space and got some wheels that we haven't seen yet from anybody on this group.
He did. Evanston trying to change it up here a little bit offensively. You see him going back to the huddle a little bit more as well. Just trying to get that rhythm established.
Right, which is probably frustrating because last week, obviously, they were to put up 50 points. Like, you're scoring almost every drive.
They were. Cats defense is playing a role in it, too. Doing
Absolutely.
a great job of rallying to the football and containing everything in on those big plays, just like right there.
Yeah, and there's that's the same guy who just rounded off 8 yards. This time he couldn't bounce to the corner, held on that side, and then he was just swallowed up by the big eaters on the inside.
And you'll see there's about 9 orange jerseys there kind of finishing by the ball. You know the coaching staff will love to see that tomorrow morning when they look at the tape.
My gosh, something just occurred to me. This is probably the most of our defense you've ever watched.
Probably, actually. Like 100%. Yeah, like. I mean, used to see a lot of it back in practice. There's Groff on the keeper. It breaks outside. Luke Williamson, Austin Gomez.
Oh, nice tackle.
Nice tackle there by Luke.
Sorry, that was me hitting the extra mic right there, folks. My fault. I was seeing if he was getting up, if Groff was getting up. He's coming up hobbling a little bit. And that was a chop by, not an illegal chop. It was a tough tackle by Luke Williamson.
You know, like you said, when you read Groff's measurables out earlier tonight, he is a big guy back there at quarterback.
Yeah. But big guy are also big legs to tackle. And for a guy of Luke Williamson's stature, listed at 5'9", it's a lot of real estate to tackle there. Groff stays in, back to pass, complete out to number 3. Oh, what a great open field tackle right there. Chris Bennett again. Man, that's the 3rd or 4th time we've called his number today.
It is. He had that big interception earlier in the game, did a great job there on that tackle on that hitch out to the field.
So Groff not missing a beat here. That was Emmett Robinson who the ball was complete to. Gain of about 7. And real quick, the Kits have the ball working towards midfield all of a sudden.
They do. Wildcats up front right now. Cole Bonder. Ethan Kendall, Cole Matalenko. On the inside, looks like Joey Carlucci and Boyd Hunt. Devon Wallace at one of the outside linebacker positions.
So clock working against Evanston right now, 2.5. Cats don't want to let up any big plays. Oh, great contain right there.
Nice job by the Cat defense there, setting the edge, turning that back inside.
Set the edge right there. I'm trying to
Number
see.
14.
And Cole Bonder again, 83. He came through. Maybe over-penetrated a step out there.
Number 14, Scott Creel, Coach O'Neill.
Nice. Scotty Creel, AP alum, Coach
It
Davis.
is. Varsity football captain this year, too, if I'm not mistaken.
He is. So, again, down to 2 minutes here. As long as the Cats don't let up a big play, it's 3rd and 2. Evanston hasn't shown much ability to get something big like that. Groff back to pass. Oh, right there. Completion is made. Gain of about 12. I believe Evanston's going to be taking a timeout here.
Get a replay coming here.
They're not. They're going right up. They're just going to use the time. So,
right into it.
So Groff on the fake looks right away on a quick slant over a sea of Cats. Just barely a missed tackle there. Next play, the handoff goes off to the right.
Pick up about 3. Makes it 2nd and 7.
Down to 1:30 here, and the Kids trying to work that no huddle. They've had mixed success with that.
Both teams have 3 timeouts left here. Groff and the keeper up, and you'll see Coach Berzawa from Evanston take that timeout here to get the call in for 3rd down. If we can get a shot of it here, you get the marching band ready to go under the direction of Mr. Adam Gore and Mr. Matt Cardston. Marching Wildcats, 125 strong this year, Coach O'Neill.
That's impressive.
125 strong, do a great job always and provide some great halftime entertainment coming up here for us. Great supporters here at LHS of our community, of our school spirit. You do a great job, Mr. Gore, Mr. Carnstead, doing the whole marching band group. Just want to give a big shout out to them here as they get their fall season going.
I loved how Dr. K put it at the pep rally last night at Cook Park, a really nice event. He goes, they're the it in our spirit. The band puts the it in our spirit. And I like that. I thought that was well said.
You're right. We were at our Wildcats Will Peak Performance Group this morning. You could hear that drum line come in all the way marching through the hallways. Definitely a cool experience.
Shout out Coach Henneberry right there. And there's Trenton Van Boeing, Rocco LaVista, some of the offensive guys there talking. Coach Schrader right there, Coach Budge talking to the defense, telling them what they need to do to batten down the hatches to the last minute 13 or minute 19, of this quarter of the half. So you are Evanston's offensive coordinator, Coach. Do you take a shot? Do you keep doing what you've been doing? You've got 2 timeouts in less than a minute and a half.
I think the big thing here is just being able to stay on track and get your first down. And it really ultimately boils down to it's just in everything. It's just doing what you have the most confidence in and your guys can execute, whatever that is at this point in time.
So 3rd down, we have a wing back and the sidecar right now for Groff. Groff immediately falls back to pass, has good protection. That ball is complete out for a 1st down. Splits a defender. That's John Matee splits a defender. Sorry, I think he goes by Mack. And so the clock is going to get going as soon as the sticks are set.
That's Creel, Kuntz, and Williamson there on the tackle for the Wildcats.
So Groff, the handoff now underneath. Oh, big
Oh, nice
hit.
hot. That's Devon Wallace, number 1, in there for the Wildcats. Number 83, Cole Bonder, and number 22, is that Joey Carlucci, Coach O'Neill?
Joey Carlucci, yep. Man, he came down. Devon Wallace came down hard, Coach.
Clock ticking here with 52 seconds left. Evanston definitely not here in a hurry here.
Still 2 timeouts, but still only 45 seconds left. You've got 3 shots at it from here.
Yep.
All right, we'll see.
Evanston quite a bit here has been throwing that hitch out to the field. We'll see if they go back up here to the top of the screen.
We're way backed off on that side, too. Now they run underneath. Got a little room to run.
There you go, turned back in by Austin Gomez to a host of Wildcats.
Loved, and I'm going to give him a huge shout out here, too. Wallace on a great angle. Once he broke contain, once
Timeout,
the running back
Evanston.
broke contain,
That's their
Wallace took
second
an
charge.
angle back to where the running back was going to go to. And then when Gomez turned him in, Wallace was able to meet him right there. That's some well executed right there.
It is. Well, we get a little break here in the action. You can see our student athletic trainers coming out. I'd like to give a big shout out to them, and our athletic trainers, Phil, Megan, and Sarah, do a great job of keeping everybody healthy here for the Wildcats. So thank you to Phil, Megan, and Sarah, our wonderful athletic trainers from IBJI who are with us here at LHS.
Student Council also says, attention all Wildcats, both current and alumni. If your club, your team, or your graduating class want to be part of this year's homecoming parade, please visit the LHS website to fill out the parade application form, which is much less complex than it sounds, as soon as possible. So if you would like to be in the parade, all you need to do is a willingness to be there in some sort of vehicle or feet to walk, and you can be part of Libertyville's homecoming parade.
Nice shot there of the student section. Like you said, big crowd here tonight, Coach O'Neill.
A lot of orange.
A lot of orange. A lot of
A
orange.
lot of shades of orange.
It is.
Different
It is.
shades. So it's 3rd and about 6 right now after their second timeout. We've got a blitz coming. Groff
Right
takes
up
it right
the middle,
up the
number
middle.
75, Caleb Christensen.
Nicely done. Coach Budge dialed up the blitz right where Groff wanted to go. He had to hesitate
Timeout,
and then go to
Evanston.
the other side,
That's their third
where he was
charge
met by the
timeout.
open arms of Caleb Christensen, who just swallowed him up. And Evanston's going to take its 3rd timeout. So now all of a sudden, from being in no hurry and having all the time in the world, Evanston's about out of time and out of downs here.
You're right, and that's no surprise there of trying to just cut the distance down there on fourth down. We've got Coach Dugan coming here. You know what? I'll just give Coach Dugan her shout out right while she's here joining us. That on October 14th, if you've got somebody in grades K through 5, it is the Palms Clinic, the Junior Palms Clinic that night before the Zion Benton game here. I know young Addison Davis is already signed up, ready to rock and roll. The kindergartner there from Butterfield who's ready to go. So if you
lined up for a field goal here. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt the Dugan read. Lined up for a field goal. Evanston from the hash on the 30. The kick is up. He's got the leg.
Good.
And it is good. And Evanston's going to get on the board with 11 seconds left in the half. Well executed.
It is.
From
That's
the
a big
30,
leg,
that's
big
a
kick.
40-yard kick.
40-yard kick, big kick. But as we were saying, just to kind of finish up, Coach Dugan and the varsity dance team and the JV dance team hold that Palms Clinic right here on October 14th. And you can go onto the website at the LHS web store to sign up and have your youngster come on out and join us in all the festivities prior to the varsity game that night. Did I do it right, Coach Dugan? Are we good? Up there on the website? All right, good to go.
It's going to be 4 O'Neills there as well. So there'll be a Davis, 4 O'Neill girls. Right there, you've already got yourself a fundraiser. Right?
We got a basketball team. If Coach Mix was here, we'd be ready to go.
Very, very short basketball
This
team.
is true.
So we're not going to be.
This is true.
So that scoring drive was 12 plays for 66 yards. Once again, thank you, Mr. Connie Kowal. 9 runs and 3 passes. Not a combination you see all that often.
Get a shout out to Associate Superintendent, former LHS Athletic Director Bryant Kelly, who's watching the broadcast here tonight. 11 seconds left here for the Wildcats on the kickoff.
So you got to figure this is going to be a squib kick. So they
And you
squib
called
it,
it,
there we
Coach
go.
O'Neill.
And we'll let that, Hayden's going to let that roll into the end zone. No time comes off, so we've had 2 plays with no time come off the clock.
Wildcat offense comes back out onto the field here.
Do you take a shot, Coach? Or do you take a knee?
You know, Coach O'Neill, at this point with the Wildcats in the driver's seat, I don't think you want to risk anything to turn the momentum over back into Evanston, especially because I do believe the Wildcats are getting the ball
Getting
here
the ball in the second half.
Start out the half. And that looks exactly like the Wildcats are going to do. Take the knee, get on out, head to halftime 21-3, get a chance to kind of regroup back in the locker room at the half, and then Cats get the ball here off the start.
So there you have it. The Cats have dominated really all 3 phases of this game: offense, defense, special teams. Couple turnovers, set up short fields for the Cats, and then it's been Quinn DeChambeau with a good side of True running the ball well to put the Cats up 21-3. The defense has been doing the job, held the kids to only that long field goal. So good half for the Cats. We will turn it over to the Libertyville Marching Band and Adam Gore and Matt Karnstedt, and we will see you on the other side of halftime.
Tonight, the Marching Wildcats invite you to turn on and tune in as they present a medley of classic television themes. Sit back, relax, and don't touch that dial. There is a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is a middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition. And it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It's in an area which we call the Twilight Zone. Space, the final frontier. Time for the Marching Wildcats to give her all she's got, Captain. team, under the direction of Casey Dugan and Allison Forsythe. Please enjoy this performance of Lady Gaga's Bad Romance. Since 1945, the Varsity Wildcats have ended their halftime show by forming our school letters on the field. Please enjoy this 77-year-old Libertyville High School tradition, the Block LHS. Everyone on their feet for Loyal and True, your fight song. That was senior to a senior, Liam Harrison. The Wildcats are under the direction of Matt Gore and Matt Darnstadt with professional instructors Savannah Hendricks. Coordinators are Violet Bates, Jessica Brown, and Catherine Harrison. The Varsity Wildcats would like to give a special thanks to all of our student leaders and parent volunteers for all of their assistance in preparing today's performance. We wish our marching Wildcats luck as they head off tomorrow morning for a special performance at the Minnesota State Fair, where they'll perform for a crowd of over 100,000. Let's go Wildcats! Get that win!
The junior varsity freshman football teams will host Evanston tomorrow here in the stadium. JV will kick off at 9 a.m. followed by the freshman game at 11. Varsity boys golf team will be in action tomorrow playing in the Buffalo Grove Invitational. Wildcat girls varsity golf team pick up wins over Grades Lake North and Grades Lake Central this week, along with the Coach Loss at Lake Forest. Jocelyn Herr and Audrey White were the medalists for the games. Girls cross country, they'll be facing the Racine Horlick Invitational tomorrow night. Varsity girls tennis team will be playing in the Brent Invite tomorrow, and the varsity boys soccer team will be in action this for charity in Northfield. Varsity volleyball team defeated Normal this week, 25-13, 25-19. They also lost to Coach next spring. They'll be in action again next Wednesday for the host one. Varsity girls swimming and diving team started their competition season this week with a win over Vernon Hills, 113-73. They will race again at Lake Forest next Wednesday night. Good luck to all the Wildcats in action this weekend and next week. Reminder that Wildcat Productions is broadcasting today's game on the NFPS Network and YouTube. You can find the game by going to NFPSNetwork.com and searching Libertyville High School, or by heading over to the Wildcat Productions YouTube page. We encourage you to subscribe and follow so you don't miss the action. You can interact with announcers Bill Ricks, Chris Davis, and Kevin O'Neill using the Twitter handle at LHSSportsNeil. Hey Lily, do you know where your cat is?
And we're back. Welcome back for the second half. We are at Walter R. Johnson Sports Complex. The Cats are up 21-3. Pretty dominating first half offensively, defensively, and special teams. Couple turnovers for the Cats, couple nice sustained drives. Defense getting the job done, making up for a lot of the mistakes that they made the previous week. Looking pretty clean. Evanston having a hard time getting anything really going thanks to the Wildcat defense there. So, Coach Davis, what do you see the Wildcats, our beloved hometown Wildcats, doing here in the second half?
You know, offensively, I think it's just keeping the ball rolling here. You know, the Cats have done a great job of capitalizing off their turnovers. They had those 2 turnovers that they capitalized off of with the short fields at the beginning of the game, and then had that nice sustained drive, like you said, 8 plays, 62 yards, I believe, to march on down the field, punch in that 3rd touchdown. So I think it's for the Cats on offense, just keep it going. Defensively, they were opportunistic there, along with the special teams, to create those turnovers, and then really buckled down as the Evanston offense kind of found its groove a little bit right when after Evanston crossed the 15, kind of got into the Wildcats territory. So I think for the Cats, it's just having that focus and that attention to detail to finish the job at hand. They've played a great half in the first half of complimentary football. You can, like I said earlier, you can definitely tell that growth from week 1 to week 2 here for the Wildcats. So it's just to be able to kind of put the cherry on top here, Coach O'Neill, on this one and just keep going here and to not give Evanston any chance to kind of get back into the game. I think that's the big thing is the Cats just got to worry about the Cats, you know.
Not the kids.
Exactly. Cats got to worry about the Cats, not the Kits. So if the Cats take care of what the Cats can control, I think, you know, we'll be in for a fun second half.
And that's one of the tricky parts, too, especially when you're talking about high school athletes. The Cats have been in command pretty well this entire game, up 21-3 right now, but you got to make sure you don't let Evanston back in this game. They're a couple big plays away from all of a sudden this being a much more hotly contested game than you want it to be. And obviously, the way we are kicking the ball off when we kick off, we recognize that they have that big play ability, and you've just got to make sure. I really liked what you said, like keep doing what you do best. Keep putting those drives together, a nice combination of run and pass. And don't be afraid to still go over the top to Gavrik. Look for a Luca. Like
Correct.
it's still only 21-3 right now. You're not running them out of the building yet.
Correct. There's no reason to kind of sit back and get into your shell a little bit. It's definitely full speed ahead for the Wildcats. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep having that relentless execution of those fundamentals. And I think then we'll have a great second half here for the Cats.
So Evanston got out here way early to warm up before the game. They got out here at like 5:30.
Well, Coach O'Neill, that's actually with no prelim game now. The visiting team is going to be out on the field here.
That early?
Yeah. And, well, especially how traffic is coming up 94 right
True.
now. I'd be leaving early too.
Yeah. And then they came out at halftime early. We're getting ready, and they're ready to go. They're chomping at the bit. There's still 45 seconds left, and they're ready to go.
Wonderful night here. Like we've talked about many times before, great crowd here at the Walter R. Johnson Sports Complex.
So it's a gorgeous night. A little warm up here in the booth, but gorgeous night down in the stands.
It is, for sure.
The crowd is not letting down at all. The crowd is super enthusiastic. The orange out. We got Coach Eggert up here, so one of our Hall of Famers up here. Nice to see.
It is. It's always a great night here at Libertyville. The community does a great job of supporting our athletics all around, not just our football team. So I know from all of us here at the high school, we're always very appreciative of the community support that we get from the village of Libertyville.
Super fun. I walk here from my house, and walking down the path as I'm coming, 2 different people who passed me just saw I was wearing my Libertyville stuff. They were like, "Hey, go Cats!"
That's
and
right.
Just love it. Like
I had to drop off some of the Fuchsia Rec League GLSA soccer teams jerseys today at Sports 11 to get some names put on the back before the first weekend next week. Saw a couple people in there getting stocked up on their orange gear for tonight as well down there at Sports 11.
So the Cats will receive the kickoff, and it is Evan Siegel who's doing the kicking for Evanston. He's been targeted on a couple passes.
Looks like Drake Johnson and Luke Compare back deep for the Wildcats.
So we'll see what the Kits decide to do with this ball, and they put it up. That's a deep kick. Heck of a
Nice
ball.
kick.
It's going to take him into the end zone, and that is an automatic touchback. So the Cats will get the ball at the 20.
Wildcat offense getting ready to come back and take the field.
So I feel like the momentum that started a few years ago about getting rid of kickoffs, when they made some of those rule changes and it felt like it was just a matter of time before they got rid of kickoffs, I feel like that momentum's kind of run out of steam. What do you think?
I think Coach O'Neill, as in anything right now, like you see a lot of times where teams are, if they can't get it to the end zone, you see a lot of those squib kicks or, kicks to the corner, like a little bit of a pooch type kick, so that it kind of has naturally kind of let a little bit of that has worked itself out a little bit.
So Shambo is back taking snaps again, and he's going to wing it out.
Oh, nice blocks on the outside. Drake Johnson's got the edge.
That was a nice block down there. That's Luka Nikolic on the block, I believe. Yep. And so that is going to be a pickup of 8.
2nd and 2 here for the Wildcats. The offensive line, you were talking in the opener tonight about some of those passing statistics last week. It was definitely an aerial attack here for the Cats. The offensive line, the big mules up front, done a nice job of having that consistent run game, churning out 3-4 yards a pop here tonight.
And Quinn has not been rushed at all, really, when he's kept the ball. Oh, again, a nice downfield block. And True keeps moving downhill.
Looks like he's a little bit short here. Looks like we'll get a 3rd and 1 here for the Wildcats.
Yep, just short there. Actually, more short than I thought. I guess he fell forward a little more. But the Cats stay in that no huddle. We've got who's running in plays. That's Dink running in plays right now. Drake Johnson comes off the field after catching that ball on the other side here. So Coach Ori doing his acrobatic dance, getting the play calls in from the sideline. Little confusion in a lineup for the Cats right now. There's a lot of confusion. We got to get this ball off.
Hand off to True up the middle, and he keeps those legs churning forward for the first down for the Cats.
It's one of the wild things about the no huddle is it feels like it is taking forever, but it's because you are talking and communicating and moving that whole time.
Well, as you've seen Coach O'Neill tonight, like the Wildcats have had some varying degrees of their tempo through here. And that's part of the thing, too, regardless of any offense. Whether you huddle or you don't huddle, it's just about controlling the tempo and just the different ways that you can go about doing it.
Right. So 1st and 10 for the Cats. Motion coming across, a little pitch there.
Pitch Drake Johnson. Oh, great play by the Evanston defender. Really nice job there of fighting out there. Drake's a fast athlete.
Yeah,
that's not an easy job to contain Drake when he gets going full speed.
That's Flo Heldman. That's another one of their returning starters from last year. He's actually hobbling off a little bit right now. You're right. And he had a full head of steam coming in that motion. I don't know that that's quite the way that Coach wants that one delivered, though, from Shambo to Drake. What do you think?
You're right. I'm sure Coach Shark would like the timing just to be a little bit cleaner on that, but still got the ball off, got Drake back out on the edge. Credit to the Evanston defense there. Charlie True out in motion. Come back here to KG. Nice job by the Mules up front. KG's gone.
It's gone down at 30s, at 25s, at 20. Oh, they catch him. He's staying on his feet.
feet.
Forces
And he's
his way
in. Oh, they're going to call him
down at the 1. I think he was. I think his knee was down. I think that's right. Just unfortunate.
As you see here on the replay, great job by the offensive line getting out ahead of that screen.
Dylan Vena out here.
Dylan Vena, Rhett Van
Boeing, and Gavrick's going. And then it looks like this guy's got him dead to rights. Gavrick's just strong enough to hold him off, force his way not out of bounds. But then, just dragged. That one's close.
And there's that big explosive play for the Wildcats, Coach O'Neill.
We
talked
just
about
like
there from the opener.
Go big play hunting, I think is how Coach Shack put it.
So here we go. KG split out to the top of the screen. Handoffs inside to True, and True waltzes into the end zone for the touchdown for the Wildcats.
True will eat the meal that Gavrick set the table for. Nice job by True.
Here comes the Cats muddling crew.
Give a lot of credit, though, like you said, to those offensive linemen who got out there on that screen. Dylan Vena, Rhett Van Boeing, they got out there, set the table for Gavrick.
Coach O'Neill, the offensive lineman did a great job of just running through their blocks there, not trying to break down or dance in front of everybody. They all three got to their landmarks, did a wonderful job of just continuing to run through and let KG.
It's a good point, Coach. Like they ran their play all the way through. They didn't look at what KG was doing. They didn't look at what Quinn was doing.
And a lot of times, too,
illegal procedure. The entire offensive line's in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, retry.
So we've got a legal procedure here on the Cats from the muddle.
Yeah, you know what, though, Coach? I can guarantee they didn't mean it, so I don't think it should count.
Is that how it works, Coach O'Neill? I wish I would have known that the past 12 years.
That just means the end guy on the line didn't check with the referee about whether they were on or off or not. And some referees don't really like the muddle huddle, and they're always looking for a chance to kind of stick it to them.
Here we go. Cats in for the kick. KG on the boot, and it is up and good.
So Cats are up 28-3 now.
Great start
Coach
here to the second half here for the Wildcats. Did a wonderful job. 6 plays, 80 yards, 2 minutes, 52 seconds. Nice mix of run pass with that big screen from Shambo to Gavrick to get the Cats down to the 1-yard line. Charlie True finishing off and punching it on in. Really nice response from the Wildcats here coming right out of halftime. We talked about it here coming into the half about just keeping your foot on the gas. Doesn't mean you have to all of a sudden just kind of slow things down. The Wildcats did a great job of going hunting for those big plays, Coach O'Neill.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Coach, but I mean, it's not even like it was a long downfield shot. It was a screen that was well executed that popped for them. And so they're not just taking big shots downfield. They're running their offense. But, man, when they got it, they got it.
That's right. Luke Compare here on the kickoff for the Cats. Cats kickoff coverage team has done a great job here so far tonight. I know Coach Schrader will be happy with that. We take it over here to the other side.
Laid into one. Oh, and it carries into the end zone. That's a little rope-a-dope there. Evanston kids lulled into it's going to be short. And then gets it bouncing into the end zone.
So Wildcats defense makes its way back out to the field here to start second half. The defense done a great job tonight. Obviously, there's only 3 points up on the scoreboard, but the Cats have really kind of controlled the momentum here. And even when Evanston has gotten something going, once they cross that 50-yard line, Cat defense has really buckled down and kept Evanston out of the end zone.
Wifey checking in. She's still watching the game, Coach Davis. We must be doing something good because this is getting late for her as far as bedtime goes. So
Mrs. Davis just sent me a little screenshot of us. I know I definitely have a face for radio. I won't speak for you, Coach O'Neill.
No, I think there's a reason we're both on this side of the glass.
This is true.
And a handoff inside, and the Cats stuff it up. I mean, there was 6 cats on the pile right there. Charlie Clark being one of them.
And it looks like we've got a Wildcat down here at the top of the screen. So here we get a little replay of that Wildcat defense swarming here to the football. You see is Groff as he comes out, tries to scramble. Right there back on the inside, big Caleb Christensen, joined by a host of Wildcats there to kind of finish off Groff as he take him back to the ground. Well, we have a little moment right here. Our varsity girls tennis team continues their season on. They compete tomorrow, Coach O'Neill, down in Palatine at the Fremd Invite. And then they're also joined at home on Tuesday, just like our varsity boys soccer team. They go at 4:45 as well as the varsity girls tennis team takes on Warren over here at our tennis courts on campus. So if you make your way out to LHS on Tuesday afternoon, catch some soccer senior day, catch some varsity girls tennis, all right here, ready to go on what should be a nice day.
Groff. 2nd and 10, Groff on the keep, and he is swallowed up. Keeps his legs moving pretty well, and is able to turn nothing into something. But
Cats defense was right there. Nice job of making the play. Hats off there to Groff for sure. Like you said, keeping his legs churning to kind of make something on nothing and put it 3rd and 5 for the Wildcats.
Hey, my new neighbor just checked in with us. Mike Chipslowski.
Oh, there you go.
My new neighbor. Coach Bill Mix retired from teaching. And Chips moved in next door, and he just checked in, and he said he's being nice. He said we sound pretty good, Coach.
That's good. It's nice to have Coach Chips on the broadcast.
Absolutely.
So it's 3rd and 5 here for the Wildcats. Formation into the boundary for Evanston. Groff with the option to the field.
Option keeper. Oh, we good
nice
option
job by
football.
the Cats defense.
Tremendous. Give a lot of credit right there. Ben Armstrong on the outside. He's the corner, and he just sat and sat and sat, and Groff had nowhere to go, had to try to turn it in, and then there was a host of Cats right there to meet him up.
Nice job here for the Wildcats. Coons and Gomez back again here on the return on the 4th down as Evanston brings the punt team out onto the field.
So Gomez on the closest to the screen here, and Kuntz up at the top. Snap is back. Evanston using that wide formation. Good high kick. Kuntz calling for a fair catch and might have been interfered with there.
Yeah, it was a little close there, but I think they're going to let it go.
Just say because they got it, because it didn't touch any Wildcat. That's one of those. It looked like he had his hand on the flag, so waited to see what happened, and then was like, all right. Because if he throws it, you know what has to happen. He has to pick it up.
This is true.
And so.
This is true. Nice shot there on the screen to Austin Gomez coming off the field. There's Libertyville coaches Reed Christensen and Jimmy Ori. Coach Henneberry there on the sideline. Give a little shout out to the offensive coaching staff.
So this is a pretty tough spot right here for the Wildcats. They have not really gotten anything going in the second half. Libertyville already up 28-3, and they've got the ball at midfield. So it's Quinn once again. Takes the snap, gives it to True. I have a feeling we'll be seeing a heavy dose of True from here on out.
Charlie puts his head down, keeps those legs churning right there. Gets about a good 6-7 yard gain here. Nice run on 1st down.
And for all you young ball players at home, when Coach Davis says he puts his head down.
That's right. That's right.
It's metaphorical.
Metaphorical for sure.
He's keeping his head up, leading with his face mask, leading with his shoulder pads. Safety first, kids.
You know, Coach O'Neill, that's definitely one of the things in the past 7-8 years that has been a really nice job about football, de-emphasizing the head.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and same as we were talking about the kickoff, we'll pick that up on the other side of this play.
Tyler DeFranco here in motion. Gets the pitch.
The ball. Oh, so that is designed. They've now pitched it twice for that.
Right.
I thought that was a mishandle.
And you know, Coach O'Neill, the nice part about that too is that technically is a pass. So if that ball is dropped or bobbled or bounces, it's an incomplete pass. It's not a handoff, so it's not a fumble.
See, there we go. This is why you get the professionals up here in the booth, you guys. This would be like this is quite a coup to get Coach Davis up here. This would be like if Bill Belichick retired. And NBC or Fox was able to get them up
that's a little bit out there, Coach O'Neill.
Bill Parcells?
Way too gracious on that one. Way too gracious. So here we go. It's 3rd and 6 here for the Wildcats.
Quinn back.
Shambo back to pass on the scramble.
Oh,
That's cut to the outside. Let's see if we get it inbounds. Can't see a signal, and it looks like they called him out of bounds.
oh. Wildcat is down. Yep, they're saying that was incomplete. That was close. Quinn scrambled, rolled out to his right. He was pressured, but it wasn't immediately under threat. I think if Quinn sets his feet on that, he's got a little better chance to keep that ball down. And that's part of the growing pains you're going to have with a sophomore quarterback, especially a sophomore quarterback with a cannon of an arm.
For sure.
Trying to learn how to control that bad boy.
So here we go. Cats are in the punt formation. Good opportunity here to pin Evanston back deep and set the defense up.
Speaking of Bill Belichick, I didn't realize the first couple times Quinn punted, he's a left-footed punter.
I did not either. Well, you learn something new every day, Coach.
Or at the very least, he did just punt that one left-footed. So maybe he's even that much better than we thought.
You're right. Now,
I've got one more student council read for you here. To all students, student council will be hosting their first ever student voice meeting on Thursday morning at 8 a.m. in the library. If you'd like to share your thoughts or ideas for homecoming, which I know a lot of people have opinions on, or anything else for this year, come have your voice heard Thursday morning. That's Thursday, 8 a.m. in the library. All students are welcome. Thank you, Andrea Lara, and Amanda Como for putting in some Stuco reads. So Evanston on the quick slant here. Once again, they've had some success on that. That's Groff out to number 10, McEntee, and they pick up 9, I think, there, Coach.
it is. And we want to give a big shout-out, Coach O'Neill, to Coach Vance and the varsity cheer team. They've done a great job tonight getting the crowd fired up. I know they were out at that pep rally last night, too, in the park, and do a great job along with our march band and our dance team of keeping that school spirit alive and well. So hats off to Coach Vance and the varsity cheer team tonight.
Absolutely. So that sets. They did get 10. It sets up a 1st and 10 at the 30. Groff looking deep now. Coverage is there. So that's just hit that slant, or hit that hitch. Now try to go over the top.
You got it. And it was
a
nice job by Williamson and Gomez, too, of understanding the situation. It's 28-3. At some point, you just let them take the hitch, make the tackle, keep it in front of you, not give up that big play over the top of their head.
Right. Make them, like we said before, that's a long field. 100 yards is a long way to go. 80 yards is a long way to go. Make them do it. Make them take 8, 10, 12 plays. The odds of doing it without a mistake gets slimmer and slimmer every play it takes. Has been a pretty clean game, though, as far as penalties go.
It has.
Especially for week 2 of a season.
Yep. You could definitely tell, like I said, both teams have definitely had that change.
Oh, that was not
Missed snap and Wildcat ball.
Combo! So something looked hinky there from the get-go. The motion was either late, and Groff didn't like the way it looked. The center snapped it when he wasn't looking, and the Cats were ready to pounce on that.
That's right. Great job by Wildcats recognizing what was going on, even though there was a little confusion in the Evanston backfield, jumping on that loose ball right there. The Cats are set up, short field again.
Who's that working the sideline yard marker there, Coach? Who's that good-looking young man?
I have no idea, Coach O'Neill.
A good dude right there. So Cats will take the ball over at the 35. Fumble! Looks like we have the same old line coming back out. Get some consistency, which is good. Big TP is out with injury right now. So who is doing the snapping for him, Coach?
I have to take a look in there. I thought I saw a couple people. I know last week, Dylan Vane, nice run there by Charlie.
I know Vana did, but he's a tackle right now,
Looks like it's number 64, Rhett Van Boney,
that,
or number 72, Ben Hudgens. Nope, I think it is Rhett.
I think it's
number
Rhett.
64, yep.
He was, Rhett was a reluctant offensive lineman, Coach, his freshman year. Had to be convinced that was where he was going to get his meals from. So snap is back. It's Quinn still. True showing some good patience in there. Looks like he's going to be just at the first down, I think.
Should be moving the sticks here. Or they're going to call him short. Nope, they're going to move it on for the first down.
Short.
Yep,
Yeah.
no.
So Cats will have a 1st and 10 from inside to getting right near the red zone here.
Evanston comes out. They've kind of changed coverage up here just a little bit more of a quarters type coverage, cover 2, getting out of that cover 3, cover 1 look they started out in the game. Charlie motions out in here wide to the slot. Shambo to Gavrik.
And there's a flag down here. Shambo got dropped. I don't know if that's going to be unnecessary roughness or if it's a hold because there's a lineman in the area too. But it looks like it was right at Quinn.
Probably looks like we might get a little roughing the passer.
Yeah, it is.
So we'll tack on another half the distance here. It'll still be first down for the Wildcats.
And Quinn is a tough kid. He is a thick, strong kid. He's listed at 6'1", 175, and he is not a featherweight to be sure.
That is very true, Coach O'Neill. So we're getting things sorted out here on the penalty. I'd like to give a shout out to the boys and girls golf team. The varsity boys golf team competes tomorrow at the Buffalo Grove Invitational out at the Buffalo Grove Golf Course. They take the shotgun starting at noon. And then our girls golf team is back in action on Wednesday out at Veterans Memorial Golf
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense. That'll be half the distance to the goal, added on to the end of the play, first down.
So we get that penalty yardage tacked on here. Cats right up to the line of scrimmage. Looks like Casey Wells split out wide to the top of the screen. Cole Bonder into the bottom of the screen.
So everybody's packed in. The Cats are kind of waiting to show their formation here. So, got about as packed in as the Cats you're ever going to see right here. Quinn's looking, puts one up, looking at Wells. Doesn't look like he was able to bring it down.
So that'll bring up second and goal here from the 6 for the Wildcats. I know, Coach, I've been trying to find some scores here from around the conference.
I can't find anything.
I just checked with Mr. Woods to see if he had heard anything from the other athletic director. He said he hadn't. Trying to see if we can get some scores here. I know we had some other games going on tonight. Lake Forest, I know, is down at Carmel, just right down here, down 176. Lake Zurich is at St. Charles North tonight. Mundelein Grays Lake North. Stevenson hosts New Trier. The Wildcats get lined up here for that second down play.
Quinn takes the snap, handoff to True. He's got a host of what? He's going to get punched that in.
And
who led that?
Touchdown, Wildcats.
Oh, Cole Bonder leading that charge. And then number 44, Jacob Dicklenberg, coming in from fullback, just leading that push and clearing a path for True. Watch Bonder here, 83 at the bottom of your screen. Boom.
Ben Hutchins getting out there, too, from his guard spot.
Big old Ben.
Nice job there by the Wildcats offensive line.
Love to see that. Man, had been in class, such a good kid. Couldn't figure out why he wasn't playing football, and then bam, wouldn't you know it, the next year he decided to.
Harold La Vista with the hold, Gavrik with the kick. It is up and good. So the score is 35-3 with 3 minutes, 50 seconds left. And the Wildcats are in complete control of this one, Coach O'Neill.
Would have liked a muddle on that one, Coach. Because then one more score gets us to 40.
I think we're right there already, Coach O'Neill. We are ready to go. You know, Coach Henneberry's got that muddle and crew ready to go.
Got to save them, though, I guess, right?
That's right. Can't put too much out there. We know we have some NSC coaches who will be tuning in on the replay that's up on the NFHS network this week.
So, yeah, they watch this broadcast, Coach?
There might be one or two that, happen to take a peek from time to time, hoping we drop some inside knowledge on some things going on with the Cats.
Wow, I can't believe. I think they just want to hear our broadcast.
That could be. I doubt it, but it might be. It might be.
Coach Coel, 5 plays, 35 yards in just a minute 20. Could that be right? 3 runs, 2 passes. That checks out.
So it's been all Cats tonight. So it's been all Cats here tonight. Cats have been in control here from the start. It's nice to see the Wildcats just kind of keep the pedal down. We talked about it coming out of the half. The Wildcats just worrying about the Cats, not worrying about the Kits.
Yep.
It's starting to come a little bit more naturally now, Coach O'Neill.
And you know what? I feel like in some years past, we've seen fluctuation at this point from the Wildcats. As the kick is taken at the 15, it's up to the 25 right now. Makes an outside move, got some room to go. But the second level of coverage for the Cats is sitting right at about the 35, and it's got nowhere to go from there.
That's right. It's been a nice job. That's about the second time here the Cats return team has had good coverage. It also had that fumble that we had out there that we didn't even know was a fumble half the time.
Wait,
or most of the time.
Let's make sure we don't have the ball back.
That's true. We should.
So, but I feel like in some years past, the Cats have had a tendency to kind of take that lead and not be able to keep pushing on it, not be able to keep going, whether it's offensively or defensively. And they're really keeping all the phases still working right now.
You're right. The Cats, like I said, Cats done a great job coming out of half. Just keep firing away. Here's Groff looking for that hitch back to the field. Finds the seam. Nice job there on that seam by Austin Gomez, getting over the top to make his presence known. And nice job, too, by Austin of letting up there, not going for that big hit.
Yep.
Looking for that big penalty. Really smart play by Austin Gomez.
That's a very mature Austin Gomez right there, knowing that he has the guy, he can break up the pass, and a great read. He used his eyes and flipped his hips over to get over there real quick right after he saw Groff see that seam, because Groff was looking either the seam or that hitch right away, and he saw the seam, and Austin was able to get over the top and, like you said, play it safe and right.
That's right. That's one of those that might not make it on a stat sheet, but it is really a truly great play, great fundamental play by Austin.
Carlucci on a blitz, coming here. Oh, nice play. Oh, no way did he catch
Incomplete.
that.
Looks like it skipped in.
Yep.
Are they going to give him the catch? It looks like they are. It looks like they are.
Oh, Chris Bennett got robbed there. He played that so well. It was a little back shoulder kind
of. If we had the replay flags here, Coach O'Neill, I think we might see Coach Jones throw that red one out.
Yeah, I'd love.
Yeah. But we don't, and now it's time to move on to the next one for the Wildcats.
Go. It was well played by Bennett, and just unlucky on that one.
Coach Budge and the defense here have been doing a great job once the Wildcats cross the 50 of kind of holding on to that. That seems to be Evanston's best play tonight, that little hitch out to the field. That's a long throw, too, Coach.
That is a long throw for a 2-yard gain. I mean, he had to throw that ball about 22 yards. And coincidentally, it was, who got out there to get that? Was that Ben Sage making that play? 21, no, Ben Armstrong. I'm sorry, Ben Armstrong. Nicely done. You know, it's wild. Joey Carlucci is about 4 inches taller and 40 pounds heavier than he was when he was a freshman. But when he's creeping up there to blitz, I can still see exactly how he did it his freshman year.
There you go. Croft over the middle. Gets it in there short. Looks like about third two. Devon Wallace on the tackle there for the Cats.
Wrapped him right up, and Wallace held him just short on that. I'm gonna give Devon credit and say he knew exactly where that ball was and wasn't gonna let it.
Devon did a nice job of finding the receiver as he dropped back into his zone, and even though it was a contested catch, Devon was right there. It's a good job in that zone coverage of matching the receiver, not just dropping back to his spot.
Nice catch by Lieberman too. Now the snap, Goff's got it. Oh, and that one's thrown behind. That's the first really, besides the interception, I'd say that's the first errant ball Groff has thrown tonight.
It is. The Wildcats done a nice job of disrupting Groff. We've had a couple sacks. He's been under duress. Hasn't really had a chance besides some of those quick throws. And this is a nice 4th and 2 here for the Cats. This is about the spot in the field that we've been talking about all night. Cats have really buckled down. Coach Budge and the defense getting ready to rock and roll here. Get the offense back out on the field.
Always love to see what Coach Budge draws up here because I'm always the same mentality. Like if it's 4th and 2, I'm blitzing. But Budge drops guys around. You never know exactly who's going to be coming, where they're going to be coming from, what stunt he's going to run. So he's bringing both.
Snap, Groff on the rollout. Nice catch.
Oh, just got it.
Just then gets the first down. Those sprint outs are always a popular one, Coach O'Neill. On 4th and short, gives the quarterback the option to run, to pass. Kind of gets out of the pocket quickly if you know that pressure's coming.
Yeah, and
no surprise there, especially with Groff's athleticism, to see Evanston try to roll him out, especially going to his right back there to the field.
And just creates a level of urgency for the defense because it's not just a rollout. He's sprinting and can get that moving very quickly upfield. So first down, Evanston's got their best drive of the game so far going. Pressure on the outside.
And here comes Evanston with the screen. Evanston gets out for the first down.
Give Evanston offensive coordinator a lot of credit there. Cats have been bringing pressure, and then they met it with that screen, which is how you fight off some of those blitzes.
That's right. You can see the big Evanston offense linemen getting out there, picking up their blocks too. Doing a nice job running through it. Cats defense, good job of rallying there to the football. You'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 orange jerseys getting back there into the frame. finish off the play. Cats done a great job running to the ball tonight. A little hot here up in Libertyville earlier today. It's kind of cooled off. Wonderful evening tonight. Cats defense has been hustling to the ball all night.
Nice contain, nowhere
Great
to
job.
go.
That's Austin Gomez, number 6 on the tackle. He's joined in by number 24. That is Boyd Hunt, also in there. Great job by the Cats. That's one thing, Coach O'Neill, from this week compared to last week. Cats done a great job on the edge. Last week, Lamont was able to kind of get off tackle a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I know the coaching staff would have liked. Wildcats doing a great job with that tonight. I know there'll be a lot of real happy people in that film sessions this weekend.
And I think that play was designed to go up the middle, and it was shut down, and there was still contain everywhere there. So the Cats cut off both the middle and the edge on that, which isn't easy to do. Usually you're giving up one or the other. So it's a 2nd and 11 now. Groff has gone on a lot of these quick hitches in this situation. He's dropping back, has a good amount of time. Oh!
Nice completion there by Groff. That's a long throw that out there to the field. You know, hats out to Groff. He's made some nice throws here tonight, especially some that are going right back to the field. That is not an easy throw from that opposite hash on that outbreaking route. He's done a really nice job sticking there. Good coverage there by the Cats.
And
hats off to Groff. That's a nice throw, putting it right in there.
I mean, he put that right in between the coverage, and he led that guy 12 yards before he was out of his break. Right, that's a heck of a pitch and catch right there for a 1st and 10 at about the 12. At this point, I say you got to keep the ball in his hands. Let him keep putting it up there. So Groff ready for the snap. Low snap, fakes the handoff, drills it. Wow.
Wow,
touchdown.
Nice touchdown. Great catch. Good defense there by the Wildcats. But good execution by the Wildcats.
Sometimes you got to remember the other guys practice 5 days a week too.
That's
and
right.
Like the Cats were there on every one of those plays. There was no mental breakdown, no physical breakdown. The Wildcats just out-executed on that one drive.
So you see here on the replay, Goff laces that in between a host of Wildcats defenders. Good concentration by number 22. That's Adrian Martinez-Jones. Great concentration there from his tight end spot for the first Wildcat touchdown of the night.
I mean, you can't get any closer than Hayden Kuntz and Austin Gomez were without being in his hip pocket. And Groff just put that in, and Martinez-Jones was able to hold on to it. So hats off to them.
So with 8 seconds left here, so we'll get probably one more play, depending on what happens here in the third quarter. It's 35-10, Wildcats over the Kits. I know we've had a couple people chime in tonight, Coach O'Neill, asking us how many times can we say kick cat, kick cat, without getting it set up. Try saying it like 3 times fast. So I feel like it's coming a little bit more natural.
We're trying
right now.
Trying.
Trying to at least. That Evanston drive here, according to Coach Colwell, 10 plays, 65 yards, 3 minutes and 34 seconds. Most of the damage done through the air with 1 rush mixed in. And that leads to the first Evanston touchdown of the game.
So we've got, hey, daring Wildcats, are you a dreamer or a doer? Do you want to help LHS become a sustainable campus? Of course you do. Then join ECOS, LHS's new sustainability club. Our club meets before school on Tuesdays or Fridays in room 226. Go green, Wildcats. So that's pretty cool. Love to see a new club. Love to see a new science club especially.
You know, Coach O'Neill, I'm always fascinated at the amount of opportunities we got here at the high school, whether it is clubs, athletics, fine arts. Like, there is something for everybody. And as we are still here at the beginning of the school year, it is the start that stops most people. So if you're a student watching at home, just know it's not too late. Give it a start. Don't just make the decision, act on the decision to get involved, because there's tons of things to get involved in, regardless of what your interests are here at the high school.
Yeah, there really is.
So here we go. Cats offense is getting ready to head back out on the field.
Wonder if we'll be getting a little dose of La Vista on this one.
Not sure, Coach. I know we see when we get out here. Can't quite tell here from the huddle from the Wildcats, but it does look like Rocco is in there with the offense, and he'll be back behind the center here to start the drive. First 10 here from the Wildcats from the 20 after that kick into the end zone. We got 74, Trenton Van Boning out at tackle. Number 71, 64, trying to get the rest of those big mules' names out there for him. Number 9, Tyler DeFranco split out wide with number 11, Casey Wells.
Oh, just under the handle. Intended for
number 34, Charlie Clark.
Charlie Clark got himself hurt his freshman year, couldn't play football, so decided, you know what? I'm going to run cross country because I can.
There you go.
Just decided to go. Couldn't do a contact sport, but just decided I want to do a sport. Loved that. Never lost sight of football, obviously.
I don't know. So here we go. Second down for the Wildcats.
2nd and 10 with Rocco taking the snap. It's not True next to him. Who is that? I didn't see a number.
That is Charlie. Charlie bounces it back to
sorry.
the outside here. Nice tackle by the Evanston defender, which will force a 3rd and long here.
That was Charlie Clark carrying the ball. And that'll
be the end of the 3rd. So as we head into the 4th, score is 35-10 Libertyville. Cats will come into the 3rd down here as we come out of the break.
Any luck on any scores, Coach?
You know, Coach O'Neill, I am trying to get the cell phone to fire up here to see if I can see anything, and can't really see it. I know I can tell Serena Williams is even in her match here tonight, 7-5, 7-6 on the first one, so she split sets there, so they're in the 3rd. But that's about the only thing I can get to load. How about you? I know you're a little bit more active on that Twitter machine than I am.
Nobody's posted. One thing that I did notice, though, about the game we're watching, last week the leading tacklers for the Cats were Austin Gomez and Hayden Coons. And you don't really want your safeties to be your leading tacklers.
Might have left that part out of the opening, Coach.
Yeah.
So.
But what made me think of it is I think we've only had to call their number defensively twice between the two of them.
Right. Both those guys are great athletes. They've done a great job in coverage tonight. We talked about that really heady play by Austin Gomez on that seam earlier tonight. They've done a great job in coverage, but the Cats up front have done a wonderful job controlling that Evanston run game, really forcing Evanston to be a little bit more one-dimensional and really just moving the ball through the air at the pass.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good game when you're only talking about your safeties in coverage and not making a bunch of tackles.
It's definitely a good thing.
So that's pretty nice.
You know, the one thing we've noticed here a little bit more, too, Evanston started the game out, and a lot of that empty formation. Haven't seen as much of that back lately.
I wonder if they just feel like they need more protection than they can get from that.
So here we go. Cats, Rocco's back in there. Charlie's in the sidecar with him.
Drop the snap on a 3rd down. Oh, did he hold on to the ball?
He did. He did.
So mishandle, you talked about that in the open, Coach, that exchange, that snap is, we a lot of times make an assumption that that's going to go well. But if you can't get that exchange, you're in a little trouble.
You're right, and that's one of those things where it's kind of one of those simple things that everybody takes for granted because it's been one of those things. It is one of those things that you don't really notice. The only time you notice it is when it doesn't go well.
So Rocco had a real nice punt his last time. He takes one step roll.
There it is. He's going to get a nice bounce on that one,
nice
too.
One here, too. Oh, and it's picked up by number 28. He's got a little seam right now. Little bit of trouble. He's on the sideline.
And so this is a nice return there by Evanston. Cats get him forced out of bounds about like the 23, 24. So it's one of those where, this is a big stop, big series here for the Wildcat defense to kind of keep momentum on our side here, not let Evanston kind of generate that quick strike. We know from Evanston's game last week, Coach Neal, Evanston team is capable of scoring in bunches. Big drive here for the Wildcat defense.
So there's 1 minute gone in the 4th quarter right now. At the very least, you've got to make them earn this. This can't be a quick strike. You don't want to make it easy for them.
So here we go. Groff back out. There's that empty formation again, get in motion. Off the handoff, a little counter back into the boundary for Groff. He bounces it back outside, gets out of bounds, and saves some clock after about a 12-yard gain. That was a nice play there with that jet motion going back to the field, a little counter going back to the boundary, get a little misdirection there for Groff.
Haven't really seen him run much of a counter. It seems like their plays have been busted up, but not designed counters.
That was really that first, we talked about the Cats defense doing such a great job against the run tonight. That was probably the cleanest run Evanston has had, maybe since the first quarter.
That's a good point. So Goff is empty again. They're going back to what they did the first.
Motion again.
That jet, Goff is going to keep it.
Gets about a 6-7 yard gain. Evanston coming back into the huddle here. You've seen Evanston kind of rotate tonight between that huddle, no huddle, changing up the tempo.
Is that strictly a tempo, or is that when you want to make sure, when you feel like you have less room for error?
You know, it really kind of just depends. It is a lot of like just controlling the multiple tempos. You know, it's a little easier for our defense if you are just one tempo the whole time because they get to practice that one.
Right.
When you got to worry about that change back and forth between tempos, that's where you get a little bit more.
So Goff empty, that's a straight keeper for him, and he powers ahead. He might be
that's touchdown for the Kits.
Wow, just like that, 2 quick scores. 2 quick scores for the Evanston Wildcats. And it's not like the Cats were wholesale subbing there. I mean, we still have starters in right there.
Yep, you can see here on the end, Groff just keeps it in tight back up to the middle, and we're able to power through a couple tackles in there for the touchdown. So it kind of, you know, here in this spot here as Evanston gets lined up for the kick, it's a big one here for the Cats to continue to just keep powering through and to keep, like we've talked about, coming out, keeping their foot on the gas here.
Oh, low snap, kick is up, it's good. Wow, nice way to get that off. So Evanston with 2 quick scores, all of a sudden.
We're back and it's 35-17. Wildcats still in control here.
It is, and I think as much as we talk about 2 quick scores, that one coming on 3 plays and 24 yards in under a minute, the Cats are still very much in control here. Want to make sure, put together a nice drive here.
Yep.
Quinn will be back behind the center, taking some snaps, and just get a nice drive, control a little clock, eat some of that up, wear that Evanston defense down again.
Yeah, that last Evanston drive, 3 plays, all 3 runs for 24 yards. We talked about how Evanston had been doing most of their damage in the air, and they proved us wrong on that one. Shows why we're sitting up here in the booth coaching now.
Yeah, and I mean, that was a lot of Groff right there, just making it work, just giving those fakes on those reads. They had that one nice counter play that went off for 10.
Mm-hmm. So Coach Christensen getting the kickoff return team here ready to go. I'm sure he's telling them to expect the unexpected here. We're kind of getting to the point of the game where you wouldn't be surprised. Kind of similar to that Northwestern Nebraska game, Coach Neal, where they had the little onside kick.
I don't know that Nebraska coach is ever going to call an onside kick again, Coach.
This is true.
He's going to be having nightmares.
But the Cats have the hands team out here.
And solo back is Charlie True.
It's a good guy to have solo back, Coach.
He is. He wouldn't have it any other way. He's going to try to return it if it comes to him.
That's right.
And the Kits do kick deep, and it'll go into the end zone, much to Charlie's dismay.
Nice kick there from the Evanston kicker, almost way out the back. That was almost for 3.
Yeah, he almost got that through. So now the Cats will come back out. Coach Shack wants to put together a nice little drive. It's been a little quiet on the Gavrett-Nikolic combination for a little bit here.
You know, I think, Coach, it's important to kind of go back. Like, the Cats done a great job. We keep referencing back to those keys of the game, but the Cats have really done a nice job tonight of really kind of hitting those keys to the game there. And I think that's something about being a fish on offense, hunting the big plays, you know, protecting the football. All that stuff is stuff the Cats continue on here. So La Vista back in the backfield with True in the sidecar. Hand off to Charlie. Charlie gets downhill, gets about 3 or 4.
So Rocco getting another series here, seeing if he can string a little something together. It is kind of hard when you're rotating series between quarterbacks to get into a rhythm, to get a little feeling going if you only get one. Mm-hmm. And so I give credit to the coaches for giving him a second shot here, a second series here to see if Rocco can get a little rhythm going.
Well,
and if I was looking for rhythm, I would hand the ball off to True myself.
You're right. And then here comes Cole Bonder and Casey Wells split out wide to the bottom of the screen. True in the side card next to La Vista.
Get it off, snap the ball. Cats are going to run out of time.
So that penalty will move the Cats back here, put them in a 2nd and 13.
Timeout.
Or nope,
Libertyville.
Wildcats got timeout.
Their
There you
first
go.
charge timeout.
So Cats will burn a timeout there with 9:30 left. What do we got, Coach?
Well, Coach O'Neill, like I said, we've been trying to get the listeners here some scores from around the conference. We're just striking out. Like, I feel like we're, we're 0 for 3 with 3 Ks, swinging here on this one. But, as we're coming up, looking across the conference last week, Warren playing at Maine South tonight, your alma mater, traveling down to Park Ridge. Last week, Warren had a very convincing win against Barrington to start the year. Lake Zurich, 21-7 win over Fremd last week. They are down, like we said earlier, down in St. Charles tonight. And then looking here through the top 10, Mundelein with the victory last week had 450 yards rushing against Grant, competing against Grayslake North tonight. Grayslake North defeated our fellow D128 school, Vernon Hills, last week in a tight game down in Vernon Hills. As we continue to look around the conference, like we said earlier, Lake Forest is down the road. Trying to look out the back window here at the press box to see if we could maybe hear some roars.
Lake Forest was down 7-0, but that was an hour ago. That's the last.
All right. Well, we know
there.
there's points on the board there.
Somebody scored.
Yep.
So it is 2nd and 8 right now after that timeout. Play still coming in from the sideline, still getting everybody lined up right with Chase Bonder and True in the backfield. Rocco hands the ball off to True.
Charlie Giggs out and nice play.
Man, I
First
just
down, Wildcats.
love the way he keeps those shoulders square to the line of scrimmage. Like, he is always moving. When we say he put his head down, it's because he's moving in the right direction, moving downfield every time.
Charlie did a nice job there, too, as he bounced that play to the outside of getting downhill and getting vertical when he can, not just continuing to run the sidelines, running off that vertical wall, getting his yardage.
So now 1st down. Rocco can calm down a little bit, kind of get settled in here.
Handoff back into True. Charlie gets then again, picks up 2 or 3 on the gain.
So, and churning down. We're down to 9 minutes right now.
Yep.
So keep
tick,
churning
tick,
that
tick,
clock.
Tick, 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 tick.
Another 2 or 3 first downs. Get that down to unmanageable time for Evanston here. But again, no rush. Again, you talked a lot about tempo today, controlling that tempo. It is tricky, though. I know one of the things that Coach Sullivan used to always talk about with the freshmen, we're so used to an upbeat tempo, we like running it. Then when I'm trying to tell him to slow it down, it messes with his mojo. It messes with what they're trying to do.
Here we go, handoff to True. He's met by some wild kits in the backfield to put the Cats back in a 3rd and long situation.
So that'll be a 3rd and long now. Now this will be interesting. Situational football, 8 minutes left. You've got your rotating quarterback in. Do you give him the keys to the car and let him take a shot, or is this a handoff to True?
You know, again, the coaches know best of what everybody's most comfortable with executing. That's really the key to the whole thing right now, is finding a play that everybody's comfortable executing, ready to go in this situation.
You would be great at press conferences, Coach Davis.
Well, you referenced my keys at the game earlier. They may have been cut and paste for about 8 years
8 to
there.
10 years?
Yeah, something like that.
So the handoff does go to True. They go conservative. Handoff was to True, and he is stuffed down. Really, I think probably 1 yard
Evanston.
loss. Evanston uses their timeout.
Please reset the game clock to 7:37.
Not surprised there that Evanston takes the timeout, try to preserve a little clock back on. They're still chasing 18 here. Is my math right there? Normally, my wife's the math teacher, so normally she takes care of the math in the Davis house. But normally, or from here, it's still that 3-score game, so Evanston is chasing here still. So no surprise seeing them take timeout, try to preserve the clock, because the clock is just as much of an enemy right now as the scoreboard.
Absolutely. And the Cats are going to look. So Rocco's going to stay in and punt. That's so interesting. I don't know, all these years of doing this, I don't know that I've ever seen a situation where whoever your quarterback is, they're your punter too.
Well, and they both Rocco and Quinn have done a great job with the punts tonight.
Totally, absolutely. It's been difference-making a couple times. The punt that Rocco had that rolled forever.
Done a great job with it. And, that's something, too, the Cats do work a lot on is that kick coverage. There was a few years ago where we had kind of gotten burned a little on some special teams plays, so we made a big point of emphasis.
I remember
past
well,
couple
Coach.
Years. Big point of emphasis on some kick coverage. One of those fundamental drills everybody in the whole program does, as you well know.
Yep.
That we all get together and kind of have some of that program time with that. It's a nice punt there by Rocco.
Well, that one's going to be returnable, and he's going to return it to the right side of the field. That's where he got a big return before. That was a block in the back. You're not allowed to do that. Little breakdown in coverage there, and he's still on his feet, and he's going to get it all the way back.
And you're going to get it right there, Coach O'Neill, on the other one.
I think that was a late hit. That
It
was a whole
late
separate
hit.
one.
Yep.
Or what? It's not late hit. What do they call it? Like away from the play? I don't know what the call is called.
Right, or blindside block, or
but that was completely unnecessary.
Yep, so Evanston is going to go from getting the ball here at the 37 to probably being back on their own 25. That's a big change in field position here. You know, they've had a couple plays tonight where Evanston has had about that 40-yard swing in field position based off penalties.
Based on a penalty. And give Dink a lot of credit because he got blindsided, and he just took it, got up, and saw the flag come flying in, and knew that was the
personal foul on the return team, number 88. It'll be 15-yard penalties from the spot of the foul.
From
first
the
down.
spot. That's the key.
Yep.
And so Dink saw that flag come in, and he just got up and started jogging to the sideline, knowing that by him staying calm, he just picked up his team 50 yards right there. It's a lot. Fullbacks don't usually get 50 yards at a pop.
No. So some big news in college football, Coach O'Neill. The college football playoff expands to a 12-team format.
For what year? When do they start that?
Let's see. That's about the only thing I can get to load on my phone right now, as I was trying to check for some more scores. Not sure if I can see it here right here on the glance, but that's some interesting headline.
That is. So Evanston, instead of the ball at the 30, like you said, Coach Davis, right at the 25, Groff dips it underneath to number 20.
There's Cole Matalenko, number 6'6", making his way from his defensive line position.
That's awesome.
Like we said, hats out to the Cats defenders tonight. They have been running to the football all night. It's been
really have.
been fun to watch. There's been a lot of orange jerseys circling around the ball.
Oh, same play basically drawn up. Nowhere to go for Groff that time, and the Cats close in. Ooh, give Groff credit. He snuck through there. I thought they were going to have him stuffed down at the line of scrimmage. He was able to sneak through.
Nice job by Groff of getting vertical back there on that run again, and not really dancing back to the outside, getting down, getting that first down. Clock stops here, so buys Evanston a little bit more time. Wouldn't be surprised to see Evanston try to pick up the tempo just a little bit here.
You know, you were talking about the Wildcats getting to the ball. I think that's been a marker of Coach Budge's defense the whole time. It's always been an emphasis. I think one of the differences this year is there's the horses who can get there on every single play. Dropping back, changing a little coverage. Groff's in empty. He looks right away. Looks, now he's taking a shot downfield. The coverage is there. And broken up. What
nice.
A great play.
Nice play.
That is Chris Bennett again. Stayed right there. It looked like number 10, Mac Matee, was going to go over him. He's got 2 inches on him, but Bennett just stayed right in position, was able to knock it out on the way down.
Nice play there by Bennett on that, like you said, out there to the field. Good job of getting his eyes back and onto the football. You know Coach Schrader, the defensive backs coach, loves to see that.
And I tell my guys, you don't need to make the play going up. He just can't have it when he's coming down.
So here we go, 2nd and 10 here for the Wildcats. Back to that empty formation. Not going to be surprised to see somebody here in motion.
So
everybody gets spread out.
Pass. Oh, interception! Outstanding. Intercepted by number 24, Boyd Hunt. Way to go, Boyd. Love it.
Evanston with a little mesh variation there. Boyd did a great job getting underneath that dig over the middle of the field.
And then hand plant drill. Way to go. Hey, while we have a transition here, we want to give a shout out to our Wildcat production crew. They're the ones doing all of the graphics, all of the camera work, the on-field camera up here. They're the ones who make Coach Davis and I somewhat acceptable to listen to. So we've got Karina Casillo, Zach Polsky, Evan Dietz, Emma Wagner, Ethan Audette. Hey, you're in my class, Ethan. Briar Siebert, Jack Neville, Henry Kelson, Callie Lou, Luke. I don't know how to say your name, Luke, but you're in my class also. JT DeLongchamp. And here we go, first down. We got Quinn back on.
Oh, this Rocco here. Bounces
Rocco,
outside.
I'm sorry.
Following Dink there on the block. Good, strong run there. Picks up about 6.
My apologies, Rocco. I wasn't paying attention enough. I was trying to get the Wildcat production team. Frida Montano, my neighbor, Caroline Waller, Jack Carey, Clayton Scott, also in my class. Patrick Compere, who between him and Zach stole my idol. Celia Hamburg and Felix. I'm not even going to try your last name, Felix. And Jack Holland And then Eli Kelly, of course, and Dan Treptow, they are the ones who are making the magic happen. So when you watch this production, if you mute it and just saw how good it was and didn't have to listen to Coach Davis and I, then you'd see these are the people who are really doing the magic. Thank you.
True, the ball carrier there, met by a host of Wildcats. We got a flag coming in here late. Like you said, Coach O'Neill, the folks from Wildcats production do an awesome job. I know Coach Treptow, Mr. Treptow, and his crew put together our athletic highlight tapes at the end of each season that we show at our awards nights. Do a super job with that, cover all of our sports here, do a wonderful job with the broadcast. Dan Treptow helps us out a ton with all of the various streamings of all events. Obviously, we have our big production for the football broadcast here, but we stream so many events
Personal foul, late hit, number 88, offense, 15-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
Kind of a loss of concentration play there. Was throwing a block downfield after the play was over. Going to cost the Cats a whole bunch of yards right when you were kind of hoping to put a bow on this thing.
But like we were saying, thank you so much to Dan Treptow and his entire crew. It's really helped us the past couple of years being able to, like I said, stream all the different events that we do now. And we've getting more cameras put up all over the place to be able to catch all the Wildcats in action, not just those in the stadium or in the gym.
So Rocco staying in here for a 3rd and forever. 3rd and 20 from the 47. I don't know that we have too many plays. Rocco's going to get a chance to throw the ball. He's back on his heels, throws out of his back foot. Had a chance there. That was Bruckner. Bruckner had a chance at that. Whenever you're a backup and you get targeted, you want to bring that ball down. Rocco flings that with his arm. And almost a second chance.
So it brings on 4th down here for the Cats. Punt team comes back on the field. 5 minutes, 44 seconds left here. Both teams have 2 timeouts left here to wrap up the game. Snap back to Rocco. Here's the punt.
Nice punt. It's going to go right out of bounds. And then this is one of my favorite parts about football. Now the referee just gets to pick where he thinks it went out of bounds. It's the most random thing, and all of us coaches and all of us players, everyone just accepts that it's completely made up, completely manufactured.
They do a pretty good job, Coach. They get it pretty close most of the time.
How do you know?
Because they get a pretty good job most of the time.
No, I'm not giving. I mean, the refs do an awesome job. I'm just saying that's the most made-up part of anything in this game.
To be honest, I've never really thought about that too long and hard, but,
how can you tell when it crosses the line?
Definitely something I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to now, I'll tell you that.
See, when you're head coach, you got time to watch these things. Groff keeps that ball, design keeper right up there. And really, he got through the first level almost untouched for the first time. Looks like we might have some other guys getting in. Ian Burke is in right now. That's outstanding. Number 45. Luka, I don't know how to say your last name. Batinovic, thank you. Batinovic is in. Cade Farmer is in. The Farmer's in. Atta baby. But you still have Gomez back to keep a cap on things back there. Motion. Hand off. We got a reverse. Can't stay at home. Just can't get it. Nicely done. All right. I mean, if you give up 8 on a reverse.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say, Coach O'Neill, is even though it's just 8, it's not 80. And that's, kind of the big thing there, where the Evanston starting to pull out stops. Cats did a good job here staying home. Like we talked about before, understanding the situation of the game, knowing that the 8-yard play is not going to hurt you, the 80-yard play might.
Right, and got some backups in, and those guys still stayed at home. You got to love to see that.
Got back in the shotgun here from that empty formation. There's that hitch
deflection! Nice job. Cole Matalenko gets that big 6'2" frame, those big long wings up, and his arms are long, man.
Yes. Coach O'Neill, we saw Cole tracking that ball. I thought there might be the lineman interception there.
That's something everybody loves. And Cole was dying for it.
I know. It would be a good conversation on Wednesday in advanced weight training class for sure.
Yeah. So that'll set up a 2nd and 10 for Evanston, but the incomplete does stop the clock with 4.5 left. So Evanston once again comes out. It seems like they're almost alternating drives between empty and with that sidecar.
There's that sprint out again.
Rolls out. Oh!
And Matalenko gets him wrapped up, forces the throw. And that'll bring in a 3rd and 10 now for the Wildcats.
So that sprint out, they haven't gone back to, I feel like, since they had success on it on that scoring drive.
Yep, that was on that 4th down.
Mm-hmm. And they looked for it again, but Matalenko stayed at home and was able to dig down and seal him up. Credit Groff, too, for getting that ball off when he had Matalenko hanging on him.
4:25 here left, 3rd and 10.
Okay, Carmo leads Lake Forest 17-0 at the end of 3.
There we go. All right, there.
Give you a local score at least. Screen from Groff.
Screen.
Oh, no, that's a hold. You're not allowed to do that. That's cheating. Kids get away with one at the point of attack there. Or I guess it was a really, really good downfield block.
Coach Neal, I'll give you a little hint. There's holding every play.
Well,
so
yeah. But
I know as a defensive guy you don't like hearing that. But
you saw the jersey. That's
right.
what I call it.
Normally,
you saw the jersey.
Normally the ones out on the edge get called just a little bit more than the ones on the inside.
Oh, yeah. But Evanston keeps the ball moving, gets the sticks rolling again. We're down at the 4-minute mark. Cats still up the 18 that Coach Davis did the math for us for earlier. Groff looks. He's got one receiver in his sights right down the seam.
Nice strike there by Groff.
Tackle made by Scott Johnson getting in the game. And see, you know what? That's a great example. Scott is a tremendous athlete, just super fast. That's the difference between an experienced senior Gomez who can see that seam coming just a little bit earlier than Scott could.
Yep.
And is able to get there.
Valuable reps here for all the Cats, though. It's really, getting those game reps is so important there, developing that depth throughout the year.
For sure.
Goff's pass complete back to number 10 into the boundary. That boundary hitch, most effective play tonight for the Wildcat offense.
I wasn't sure you were going to get Kit right that time.
It started like it was going to come out with Cat. You're right.
Yeah, you caught it. That was well done. See,
I'm not used to this post right here. I was doing kind of the lean back, didn't want to fall. That would sound really great on the broadcast if I fell out of my chair right now.
I'd hit the cough button for you.
Thanks, Coach.
I got your back. So sets up a 1st and goal for the Kits with 3.5 left in the game. Groff trying to add a little bit of something here.
Big sack.
That is Matalenko again. Now, I know you know I love this, but this is when the wrestlers just get to absolutely go. Everybody else is getting tired, and Cole's just getting warmed up. He is feeling good.
And there's a lot of wrestlers back on that defense, Coach O'Neill. 75, Caleb Christensen, 66, Cole Matalenko, number 6, Austin Gomez. Apologize if I'm missing anybody else. Those are just the ones off the top of my head I can see out there.
Right, because those are just the state conference, sectional qualifiers off the top of your head.
There you go.
So under 3 now. There's that sprint out again. Runs out of real estate. Nicely eaten up right there by the Cats. Great sprint. Who was chasing after him? That was Luka. Say his last name for me again. Batinovic. Just absolutely on an all-out sprint. And so Groff felt that pressure coming under from behind and had to just ran out of real estate there. But incomplete pass stops the clock again.
Coach O'Neill, while we got a little break here, I would be remiss if we didn't give a shout out to the guy on the Wildcat sideline that makes the whole operation happen, and that is Coach Joe. We see him over here getting back into his case. And while Evanston lines up here for this 3rd down play, great shout out to Coach Joe, best equipment man in the land.
Croft drops straight back, hasn't done that. It's a screen.
Oh,
and it is
great
eaten
ball.
up. Is that ball? Is that out? Get the ball. There
Looks
we
like
go.
The Cats, and that should put a wrap on this.
So it's the first time that Groff has dropped straight back, and it was to set up a middle screen. You'll see 29 curl right around here, and he is past the line of scrimmage, and there Cole Matalenko pulls that out, and there's a fight for it, and it looks like the Cats have got it. That is a great, just to sniff out that screen for Cole Matalenko is a nice play, but then to strip the ball, that is outstanding. And it'll obviously keep the kids out of the end zone, give the Wildcats a chance. Let's do the math here. They need to get one first down, though.
They do. They
need
do,
to
Coach.
get one first down. And it looks like it's Rocco back in and trusted with the responsibility, getting that one first down.
And
he's
off.
right
And
away.
there we go. And he's gone.
And
they're not going to catch him, Coach O'Neill.
Two Evanston players ran into each other. And that'll give Rocco something to build off of right there.
Great play there. Great job of running in the open field. Well done. Big play there for the Cats, and that should wrap this one about up.
But now we got to give the ball back over, and they're going to throw it a whole bunch again.
You've got that point down, you got that part down, Coach O'Neill. You're right. Looks like Wildcats will line up here for the PAT. Big touchdown run there, about an 80-yard run there for Rocco.
And the kick, here comes the snap, and the kick is drilled, no problem. 42-17. I think it should be 42, right?
Should be. And there we go. Coach Jurkowski gets it put up there on the board.
It's a little slow. I'm going to have talk with him.
See, he's got that melted Kit Kat in his hand there, ready to go.
So we'll see if we get some more subs in on defense here. More opportunity for guys to get some playing time.
Coach Kowal's got the official stats here. One play, 87 yards.
87.
And how fast did that guy run?
Well, did you have a clock on him? 14 seconds is how long it took him to go 87 yards. So nice job by Rocco there. Thanks from Connie Kowal for his help.
Still a strong showing from the LHS student section here tonight. Great crowd as always at the Walter R. Johnson Sports Complex. And then Coach O'Neill looking ahead for the Cats. We're back at it next week.
Next week, baby.
Kick off the NSC schedule with the Warren Blue Devils coming to town.
Coming to town, always a great game. The what do you call them? The Smurfs with pitchforks?
I can confirm nor deny.
I've heard them called that, I should say.
Yes.
Heard them called that. So Cats will kick off. So get some guys here. Got Anthony Kelly is in on there. Outstanding, getting some special teams.
KG with the kickoff there.
It's returnable, taking it about the 9. He's up to the 20, 25,
Oh, he's got
30s.
a crease.
And Gavrick says, no, you will
nice
not.
tackle from Christian.
Christian says, I have to put up with getting hit all the time. Now's my turn to put some
There we
licks
go.
on right here.
Wildcat defense coming back out onto the field here. That's 54. Looks like Matt Drumkey, 64. Rhett Van Boning, trying to get all the names here of the Cat players tonight.
Rhett getting some time on defense. That's good to see.
43, I think that's Josh Jenkinson, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, well done, Coach.
35 for the Cats, that's Lou Hermantis. A whole slew of Wildcats coming back in.
Outstanding. Like you said, get some of these meaningful minutes. Get a chance to play in some game action with somebody in a different color shirt who's coming at you in anger. Handoff goes up the middle. Looks like we got a new quarterback for Evanston as well. This is Harrison Frostick. He's getting some time in. Groff's day is over. Groff played tough today, Coach. A lot was put on his shoulders.
Yep.
I mean, it's hard to go from 50 points to 17 points, but like he stayed in there. He ran the ball well. He threw the ball well. Like we said, only a couple errant throws, really.
You know, and both of these teams play in very tough conferences. That is something that both teams will be well prepared as they head into their conference schedule. Now, the CSL has the crossover games coming up with the MSL, the Mid-Suburban League, in weeks 3 and 4.
Oh, ball on the ground. And Cats got it.
Cats got it, and that should be about it.
No, I don't think we need a first down.
But, you know, Coach, like we were saying, both these teams play in really tough conferences, really strong conferences. So both going 1-1 coming out of the non-conference schedule and then going into the conference schedule. Both teams have seen some good football here these first 2 weeks to get themselves ready to go as they head into the more familiar foes from the conference
right.
schedule.
And that's big. I mean, you look at teams like, like Maine South. They played Stevenson last week, and they're playing Warren this week. Like, they want to get the best competition they can, so they get tuned up as best they can. Because Maine South in that conference, they don't have a lot of competition outside of maybe a New Trier.
Right.
And so they want to get their competition in their non-con. And for, us up here, every week is a slugfest with Lake Forest, Lake Zurich, Warren, Stevenson. So this is a good one for the Cats here. Rocco will take a knee. We'll wait another 25 or 40 seconds.
40 seconds. Let the clock run down here a little bit. Probably get 1 or 2 more. Both teams getting ready to head to midfield here to shake it up here at the end of the game. Good night for the Cats, Coach.
Good night for the Cats, and we'll see.
Good night.
I see one guy down with ice on there, so you got to see how the Cats come out of this healthy. But definitely, like you said a lot, building on what they did last week. They felt like they let some opportunities go last week. They definitely took advantage of every opportunity they had here. And I really like how they executed offensively and defensively on their keys of the game. I feel like you kept bringing that up, and it was very true.
You know, Coach O'Neill, that's one of the things that we talked about during the broadcast. You see the most growth from a football team between week 1 and week 2, and that's definitely evidenced by the Cats tonight. Hats off to all the players, all the coaches. Great job of responding from that long trip down to Lamont with the outcome not going their way, focusing on the process, and then continuing the outcome working out in the Cats' favor tonight.
Yeah, and hats off to Evanston, too. Tough game. They were down a whole bunch early, never gave in. I mean, this team is going to win some games and get us some playoff points, hopefully, as we move forward here.
For sure. So that's going to do it here tonight.
Cats will line up in midfield. Everyone will shake hands. Special thanks to the Wildcat production crew, of course. So for Coach Davis, this is Kevin O'Neill, and for Wildcat Productions, hope you guys had as much fun as we did, and we'll see you next week.
That's right. Back at it better than ever, Coach O'Neill.